So, how have you been? How's everybody been now that we're all back together? You know, people aren't going on vacation or flying on airplanes or sailing ships or hiding in vehicles from their wives.
I know this feels abnormal to actually be back together, sitting down, talking Destiny without shenanigans.
It has been about a month, yeah.
I blame Peroty. He kicked it all off by going, I'm going on holiday, bye guys. Then Arf did exactly the same thing, went, I'm not going to be around for 2 weeks, more or less 6 months really. And then you went off and did your work stuff and left me to hold down the fort, which I kind
I'm
of
going back tomorrow too, so
yeah. I mean, Arf and I did have a lovely trip together. We had a really good time. I'll send you the photos afterwards. It was great.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitedemon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Rager, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
I'm back. 7 feet tall to tower over everybody.
Can you just clarify a few things, right? So, welcome to the show, everyone. I'm Nitedemon. Peroty is laughing because he's just come back from holiday and enjoyed himself so much. And Respawn's actually back from doing his job, so we're all back in one sort of room. It's a virtual room.
We're back in one tiny room in the eaves of your house. We've all squished into your tiny little man cave.
Oh yeah. This is
we're all podcasting from this tiny room. It's fine. There's plenty of room.
Peroty is laughing because
not weird at all.
We have joked about his height and his size for quite a few weeks now that he's been gone, and obviously he's now listened to the podcast. So can you just clarify how tall you are?
Have you met Golgoroth?
Sometimes, yes.
No.
I'm only 6'5". That's it. It's only 6'5".
Okay.
Which
I thought it was 6'7". I was 2 inches off.
No, when I was younger, I wanted to be taller, and then you hit a point in height and you go, this is stupid. Mm-hmm. Finding clothing is difficult. Finding shoes is impossible.
Flying on planes is difficult.
Oh my god, dude!
Now you know my pain.
Dude! I've known your pain since birth. Like, flying on planes has never been a good experience, and now they're like, we're gonna make it even worse.
Anyway, so Destiny stuff. Finally, we have a TWAB. I'm upset about the TWAB.
Quite good. Oh yeah. Well, last
what
week,
else is new?
I think Gator tried to outdo you with his Gator's Grumble. Have you got a traditional Respawn's rant this week for the
yeah, cursing and all. I'm a little peeved about it. Yeah.
What are you peeved about? Either Gator trying to steal your thunder or the 12?
Gator could never steal my thunder. He even admitted as such. No, I told him before the show, I'm not there. I need you to pick up the slack. And he did what he could, and I'm happy for that.
So yeah, we do have a TWAB to discuss. And some other Destiny stuff that we can inform the people on.
We do.
Sure can.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So shall I kick it off with next week in Destiny?
Absolutely.
Next week in Destiny.
What is happening?
It is the last week of the season. Hype is beyond reason here. So happy, so hyped for the new season. And to go with that, we get bonus ranks available in Gambit, Vanguard, and Crucible. So if you're trying to do one of your ornaments and rank up with whichever vendor to get past that, grab your ornament for your machine gun, you can do it next week. Or I say you can do it next week. You have the potential to speed up the process next week. We also can defeat Keitel's champion in the Proving Grounds Nightfall next week. And that is our last Nightfall for the season. And that will be dropping, hopefully, the Silicon Neuroma sniper rifle.
Hopefully not.
Why do you say that? You don't like that?
He doesn't like it.
Who wants a sniper rifle? Nobody wants a sniper rifle.
PvP, I mean, I would assume PvP players too.
No.
Okay.
No?
I'm always hoping there's something worth grinding for, because the game loves handing me the sniper rifles from the Nightfalls, but not much else. I have like one of everything, but I've got a collection of silica neuromas I've deleted going now. Oh, well.
Yes, but have you done a Grandmaster and got the
I have not.
Adept version to drop?
No,
Well, then there you go. There's your chance to do that.
If that involves him doing a master anything, well, grandmaster anything.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm happy
Yeah.
to do. I just need to find a time to be on with other humans and actually do it. And therein lies the rub.
Come on. Yeah, the rub.
The champions will be Anti-Barrier and Unstoppable. So those are the mods that you need. And we will have Arc, Solar, and Void Shields. But the Solar will be dealing 25 bonus damage dealt and 50% extra damage incoming received.
Oof.
So you'll be fine, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our last Grandmaster. If you're slowly doing those, because I don't think Bungie have said that they're doing the drop-down box. I haven't seen the drop-down box. Respawn, are you in game? Can you confirm if there's a drop-down box to
I don't have the title.
select?
Oh, is
No,
it
but
for everybody?
I think at the end of the season they normally do a drop-down box, but they normally tell us that you can do it, but they haven't.
Well, they told us last season too, and it just wasn't there, like for me at all. So I think they
Nope,
were like,
no drop down box.
Maybe they're like, it's broken, so we're just not gonna put it in and hope nobody notices.
I mean, I've never seen the drop down box. In each season they said it's there. I've never been there, and
I've seen it before, but just in the last season it wasn't there, and for me, and though apparently for others in this season, yeah.
Last season they did say at the end of the season that it was a bug, wasn't it? That the drop down box should be there available for if you're doing your Conqueror Seal and you haven't got it. It's normally about 6 weeks at the end of the season that you're able to go in and select whichever Grandmaster you need to do, and it kind of checks it off your box. But it hasn't been there for a couple of seasons now, so I was just wondering because I didn't check this week, unfortunately. But I did manage to do a couple of Grandmasters. I got golf balls rained on me. It was fantastic. It was like dropping 2 and 3 at a time. I was like, this is amazing to actually be in this position to actually get the golf balls to then go, where do I put these golf balls? Because now I've filled up my postmaster. Let's just find a random exotic and throw 3 into. Let's find another random exotic, throw 3 into that. Do 2 more Nightfalls and get another 6 to drop. And I'm like back up to where I was, which was quite nice. So I'm finally relieved that I'm at that kind of position that I've got some safety in my postmaster. I've got enough on me and my shards and things. So yeah, that was quite nice. But enough about me.
So you're all set for next season. You've already started. Actually, you've already started the hoarding of materials and. Are your bounties all full on all 3 characters?
Is there a point that he stopped?
No, my bounties aren't filled. Because it's summer holidays. I have to contend. I have to contend with children. I have to contend with wife to give me jobs, as I keep telling you.
That sounds a whole lot like an excuse.
It is an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't get the bounties done if I don't get time to jump on.
Mm-hmm. Something I'll say.
Mm-hmm. And we have Team Scorched. It comes to the Crucible next week. Peroty, what is Team Scorched?
That's where everybody gets a Scorch Cannon in a team, and you take your Scorch Cannon and you shoot at the other team and try to set them on fire.
And that other team is shooting at you.
And if you for some reason still haven't done your Scorch Cannon kills for the season, here's your opportunity, because you're also getting bonus ranks. And if you're trying to unlock any red bar weapons or level up anything that you've crafted, slap that stuff on while you're playing Team Scorched, because you'll still get credit for playing Crucible while not firing any of those weapons, but they're on you.
Do I get supers?
No, you just get a Scorch Cannon. That's it. Scorch Cannon and a team. That's all you get. The end. Period. Full stop.
Do I need the team? Can I just solo Scorch Cannon? Can
I
just take out the other
team? You may not need the team, but the team is provided for you.
I mean, to answer your question, yeah, you could totally do that.
Whether you interact with the team or not, that's up to you. You're still going to have one.
Leafy Warlocks are pretty good for this. I find Lion Rampants on my Titan, keeping myself like in air and being able to dodge in air. Well, slightly dodge in air with the Lion Rampants is quite cool. Anything for the Hunters Respawn?
For Team Scorched?
Yeah.
Don't
I
get
think that's a
shot.
no.
Nothing.
Does invisibility work with your
Do the
Scorched?
shooting? No. Invisibility's a lie.
If you're trying to get your pinnacles in your inner raid and dungeon, where can I go for those?
Well, you can go to the
Pinnacles,
Last
raid.
Wish and farm for 1000k, and then you have your dungeon, which is your Shattered Throne, which is also on the Dreaming City. It's like the Dreaming City Pinnacle World.
Yo, it's almost like there's a theme to it.
So it doesn't sound like you're gonna have the time to do your solo flawless season of Solar Shattered Throne Run. Unless you can kick the wife and the children out of the house this week. This seems like, if there's any time to do it, it's the present.
I know it's the last week with that mod that just kept me alive in that dungeon with my children.
Mm-hmm. I saw you soloing dungeons with children. If there's any week to do it, here it is.
What mod are you talking about?
The
class
next week.
The Classy Restoration?
Classy Restoration, yeah. It kept me alive. I was going to swap to Thunder Crash and put on my Curious of the Falling Stars, but I thought it's probably best if I just stay alive and we do about 4 runs of that end boss in the dungeon.
Right now, I'm only going to be rocking it for another week. Yay! But right now, I'm rocking a build where I have all of the survivability you do without using Classy Restoration.
Is it called just being a Titan?
No. I guess so, yeah, but
because honestly, I put it on and I was like, I can see how other people are benefiting from this.
Yeah,
I see no difference.
Well, yes, it does involve a lot of punching, right? Okay, so here's the thing, right? So,
it sounds like you're quite proud of being a Titan.
No, I'm not at all. Not even a little bit. I'm looking so forward to after next week, so I can go back to playing my Hunter.
Although, to be fair, of all the seasons you had to play a Titan, this was a pretty good one.
Yeah, your wall of fire made it bearable, right? So if I didn't have this wall of fire to just launch at people, I would be significantly more angry and play a lot less than what I have been. But the wall of fire, that's just, it's a wall of fire, dude. And it's your melee. Because nobody else can just sling a wall of fire at somebody for a melee, but whatever, But no, with the wall of fire and even just punching people without even having an empowered melee triggers all these mods that I have on, right? And all these mods that I have on drop, I think, 4 wells per kill. I think it's by last count how many wells I get per kill. And each one of those wells both heal me and fill up my melee, my class ability, grenade, all that stuff. And then when I have class ability and I get hit, the helmet gives me the freaking little solar well that heals me. It might as well be a solar well, the sunspot. You know what I mean, right? Yeah, that's it. And that heals you. So even without empowering the punch, if you just punch something, it'll still drop 4 wells for you to heal and get your punch back and stuff. So yeah, it's really hard to be killed with this build, even without Classy Restoration. That's why I put it together. Because, when the season's over, Classy Restoration is going away. So how can you still be unkillable? Well, this is the answer. Just punching things and have the punching activate all these mods and these wells and these things that heal the hell out of you and give you all your stuff back.
Yeah, just doing what Plunder the Booty tells me to do and roll with it.
This was before Plunder the Booty came out with it, but the version I'm rocking is his because he improved upon the one that I was using. Yeah. So yes and no. Yeah.
He's out there doing God's work of just here's an amazing build, roll with it. But there have been a number of good builds, and I'm really trying to resist building out a new solar build like for the Warlock. I've got one that I've been playing with. There's another one, there are a couple that I've seen now as I've been catching up in YouTube land on, being unkillable. And I'm going, let me wait. Arc is soon. I need some materials for my Arc builds and to see just what those are gonna be. So I'm very curious and very excited. I'm happy I'm back before the new season starts and before the teaser drops on the 23rd, because I was like, if I miss that, I'll be very sad because I want to know.
So Respawn, after having lost the bet twice and being a Titan for the last 2 seasons,
Ugh.
how have you got, be honest, have you enjoyed playing a Titan? You can say it, but just
No, okay,
we know
honestly
that
speaking,
we know you're a hunter to
right.
heart, but have you enjoyed playing as a Titan?
Okay, so full disclosure.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, not really, because every time I jump on, I'm wishing it was a hunter, so that just gets a bad taste in my mouth. However, despite that, as I was saying previously, the wall of fire puts a smile on my face every time I get to do it. You know?
Fair enough.
Now when I'm playing against said wall of fire, that smile goes away quickly.
Yeah.
Having been the one wielding it and killing pink bars with one hit and constantly healing and getting all of my stuff back immediately, it's very strong, and it gave me a lot of survivability. That, like, if I was dying all the time as a Titan, I would be actually miserable. But the fact that this allows me to just be stupid, go punchy, and not die makes it bearable. And see, even my son is upset about the whole Titan thing.
See, reloading, much like death, breaks our immersion. We don't like it. We don't believe in it, and we won't respond it.
Right. But yeah, so I mean, it's not as bad. If I had to play during Void, well, I mean, if I did play.
I think you would have been. You did play during Void, and you played through Solar.
Also,
yeah.
Also,
I wasn't a fan of Void.
Yeah,
I wasn't a fan of it though. I didn't like it.
No, I've come around a little bit. I like the. I didn't like the Solar as much when we started. I've come around a little bit to it. I think I still like the Void for, honestly, like what Void gives me, like what Void lets me do. Solar, it's a little harder to appreciate all that's going on because it's just flames everywhere, which is not a bad thing because everything's dying in flame and I'm living in flame and we're just all sitting in hell on chairs of flame.
Accurate.
But the Void's a little easier to understand. Like, okay, I'm suppressing this guy. Okay, I'm doing this. I'm strapping detonators to everyone's chest. It's a little easier to understand what's going on.
See, and that I couldn't get around because between you and Demon and Micah, all of you had different ways of playing a Titan. You know? And none of these ways that y'all gave me was actually working for me. And I was just like,
no, you have to find your own way.
I was staying back and just basically for Void, it was just gunplay and grenades for me, right? Just trying to suppress and do gunplay.
No, you have to walk into the enemy's living room, throw a wall down, and go, I live here now. You thought you lived here, no longer.
Yeah, I mean, the builds that I was having just, I didn't feel that way. I wasn't getting the whole I live here now vibe, right? But Solar changed everything. Solar, once the build started coming out and, this whole wall of flame, infinite health, infinite survivability with the flaming helmet thing, that now I live here. I'm living here. I'm one-shotting any pink bar that comes after me and basically every mob that comes after me, and that's just it. You can't do anything about it, Bosses, are a pain because I can't one-shot them, but that firewall still takes like a third of their health. It is
your
crazy.
roaring flame. If you're throwing your hammer out and collecting it, you can pretty much melee them to death.
Yeah, but then they have the foot stomp thing. So how do you deal with the foot stomp?
They're dead. There's no time to foot stomp. They're just dead.
Yeah.
And if you're going pink bar, that's yellow bar for colorblind settings. If you're very confused what pink bar enemies are.
Yeah, I was going to clarify that one.
Yeah, long time listeners will know Respawn has many colors, but other people going pink bar. What is he talking about? Pink berry? Is he eating ice cream while playing? Maybe.
Well, it could have been. So, Peroty, would you tell the people what our last sectors are for next week and up until the last day? Even though it says August 23rd, and I think it won't be what it is on the 23rd because it'll be a new season and normally they change out the rotation. But Chat News seems to have got it listed that's what it's going to be. But I'll hand it over to you for a second.
Hello!
So our lost sectors, I dutifully did go to some lost sectors before I went. I finished my Solstice in week 1. I did some lost sectors dutifully because I wanted the fancy new Titan shoulders, even though they're void. and I wanted the fancy Warlock arms because I just ignored my poor Warlock and he needs some new exotics. So if you, like me, have been putting these off forever and are finally trying to get done, or if you're going, I want to go run these lost sectors and get all the little triumphs for doing them all on Legend or Master difficulties, here are your options. So on Monday, the 15th, the Sepulchre lost sector is available for your arms. On Tuesday, Extraction lost sector is available for your chest. On Wednesday, it's the Excavation site for your helmet. On Thursday, it's Skydock 4 for your legs. Friday, the Quarry for your arms. Saturday is your K1 crew quarters for your chest. Sunday, the 21st, is the K1 logistics for your helmet. Monday, the 22nd, is going to be your K1 revelation for legs. And theoretically, Tuesday will be your K1 communion for arms. But who really knows? Lost Sector Today does have the rotation through the end of the month. But like Nitedemon just said, your new season does begin on the 23rd on that Tuesday. And the rotation will likely change, which also Lost Sector Today does tell you. So that's what your lost sectors are, and that's what your new armors can be. If you have been dilly-dallying, now is the time to stop doing that. And again, lostsector.today, load that in your browser. It will tell you each day what the lost sector is, what the armor pieces are, not only what champions there are, but how many champions and where they are in the lost sector, what shield you'll encounter. So it's a lovely one-stop shop for
that is
what do I need
really
to know
good info
to roll in here. Yeah, it's
That's
great. Like
really
our
cool.
Sepulchre lost sector on Savathun's Throne World. You're going to have 3 barrier champions. They're going to be knights. It's going to tell you where they all are. And there's 1 unstoppable ogre. And the burn is solar. And it'll tell you, there's a few arc shields with the knights. There's 1 solar wizard. So it gives you an idea of not just what there are, but how many of what do I need. So you don't load up thinking, I'm going to run in with my solar and arc and then hit a void shield that you can't get by, or it takes you forever to get down. Alrighty. And then our last week of Eververse. Very, very last week of this season. Not ever, but of this season. Yeah, that's a word. Expo Sporangian ship. It's a ship. It's a ship available for silver. Your Snakebite weapon ornament for 700 silver for your Huckleberry. The Hearthfire Shell, which is a flamey ghost shell. Now it says for 600 or 200, 600 and 200 silver, and I've lost the track of which of these it actually probably is, because it has 2 possible
is gonna
costs.
be cheaper, yeah.
All right, so 600 probably.
Yeah.
It's going to have the Buzz Off emote, which is a silver only item for this season for 500 silver. And you're not buying any of the synth templates. You're not doing that. Trust us. Just like you're also not going to buy your concentrated matter gem. You're not doing it. Your glimmer shard or your scavenger's boon. You're not buying those. They're for sale. Don't get distracted. What you might want to buy though for Bright Dust is your T-ball emote for 3,250 Bright Dust. They have the Golden Days weapon ornament for your No Time to Explain, which makes it look, golden for 1,250 Bright Dust. Your Subjugator Entrance, which is a transmat effect for 450 Bright Dust. And it's hard to tell what that is because the picture is teeny tiny. And Hazard Pay is your shader for 300 Bright Dust. There's also going to be, there's the Hacky Sack pack for either 1,200 silver or 4,250 Bright Dust. Thunderous Sword emote, Convertible Shell, Open Sky Tour Sparrow, and Wings of the Firebird ship. And then your Apex, your armor pieces for your different classes. Your Universal Ornament chest pieces will be available. So the Universal chest piece, your Sun's Apex vest for the Hunter, the Dawnsinger robes for the Warlock, and the Radiant Breaker plate for your Titan ornaments are all going to be available. And the Colossus helmet projection. So Nitedemon can come back on to this and go, he's mucked that all up and he doesn't know what he's talking about. Or he can say, good enough. It'll be available come Tuesday.
We know him. He'll probably re-record it.
Buy what you want. Don't buy what you don't want. And we'll maybe tell you what's going to happen the first week of the season, but we may not. So that may be the year of your confident lost sectors in your Eververse for a bit.
One thing we can tell you though is we're not going to discuss it because there's not really a lot of provable evidence, but there's a few videos out there that are saying that the new subclass has been leaked, called the Mist subclass. Astrocross has a video. It was pretty good. He went over the details about it, or what he thinks of the details about it. So if you're interested in gossipy things like that, go ahead. But we weren't going to discuss it here much because, again, nothing's been proven, and we don't want to spread lies. Well, sometimes we want to spread lies. But this time we're not spreading lies.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about and heard for what feels like forever now about a new poison subclass coming.
Yeah.
Now, because I've seen a number of people do videos. Now, the leak, was it like actual game footage? Was it like screenshots?
Yeah, it was dev footage, but it was dev footage, right? But it wasn't. It wasn't dark, which leads me to believe that it's not right now. If this is a thing, and if this is a darkness subclass, it's not going to happen for a minute. So anything we may have seen is most likely going to change. Like having 3 grenades or 3 melee charges. Yeah, I mean, looks cool, right? Hunters on their ice subclass can get 3 or 4 melees in a row, but it's hard to do. But any of that stuff can change between now and then. So take it with a grain of salt. It could be a leak for Arc. Didn't look like it. Could be a leak for Darkness. Subject to change. But if you're just interested in gossip, check it out. Like I said, Astrocross has a good video, and I recommend it if you're interested. So
yeah, I mean, you don't want to go too much into detail because there isn't much detail. It's just there was a video. It was on ArtStation, and that was it. There was just a different coloured super, and that's it. There was no super to see. There was just a different icon in a different colour, and it's like,
and a Titan had 3 melees. Because I mean, if I was a dev and I was a Titan dev, why not just give myself 3 melee? So, right?
Yeah. The most suspicious thing is the fact that Bungie or the dev took it down literally straight away when people found it, and it's like that's the most suspicious thing. But
I mean, how did it get uploaded, right?
Well,
I mean,
they use the rest of the stuff from Destiny and Bungie that's on ArtStation is still there, so they still upload to this ArtStation place of stuff that they're working on that's in game or stuff they work. But it's kind of this thing, and you don't know whether it's just one of those things that they're generating hype for. You know what they do? Just we subtly leak something, just an image of something, and get people talking about it. So Bungie, hey, we're not going to talk about it. That's it. We've drawn a line under it. We're moving on. That's it. We're not talking about it anymore.
Yeah.
You're not getting us to talk.
I mean, honestly, ArtStation looks a little bit like like something like DeviantArt. So I mean, it could have been something that, hey, like this was the thing they were working on. It could have been just, hey, like someone working on their portfolio going, let me put this up, and Bungie going, oh, that's great and fine, but everyone's gonna see this and they're gonna think that poison is coming. Let's just pull that back down. Even it could just be it's not coming. You just threw this up there because it was something you were working on, or hey, what would this look like in green? Whatever. Yeah, it's something we were like, we should at least mention because it is a thing out there. But yeah, I mean, just like I think what was like machine guns were teased in Destiny 1 and didn't come out for forever. Or there have been things that have been like found in the API and stuff that this is coming to Destiny, and then it's like 4 years later,
or never at all.
Yeah, like this campaign story beat, it's going to happen in D1, didn't happen until D2. So yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, of course, Bungie is working on this stuff. Of course, it's in some level of being done. Is it going to show up on Tuesday and they say, instead of Arc, it's now Poison? Then we get to go, oh well, Bungie, you did it, yay! And everyone gets to be on the hype train. But no, it's coming eventually because I mean, it sort of feels like that's the way it's going. Again, I feel like it's been teased forever and talked about forever. So we'll get there one day. I mean, and Bungie has said, we're not, after these 3 Armor 3.0 or Subclass 3.0 reworks, we're not giving you any. We're giving that team a break for a bit, probably so they can go heads down and work on this poison subclass or whatever whatever it becomes. Whatever our next darkness subclass comes for the game.
Right.
Probably in like maybe Lightfall, because it seemed like a good time to throw in darkness subclasses.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be really weird if we got the Arc and the Darkness in the same season, at the same drop.
Yeah. Or even back to back. Because I mean, that's a ton of work doing these 3 reworks, 3 seasons in a row.
Oh yeah.
That's
we don't know how long they've been working on it too. So that's something that we're assuming as well. They could have been working on this the entire time and not told us because they didn't want to have to keep giving us updates or whatever.
Oh,
You know?
well, I mean, all the stuff. I mean, I feel like obviously this has probably been in development for a long time. I mean, this stuff, comes from nothing and has to get built and tested and tweaked and everything else. So, yeah, I mean, it's likely in development. It's likely been in development for years now. Just when do we see it as players? Who knows? Could be this year. It could be next year. Yeah, it was something that was like it's out there enough in the community. It's worth mentioning, but we're not gonna dig into it any deeper because
That's a rabbit hole.
there's no there. And like Respawn said, it could, what little glimpse we've seen could be completely wrong or completely changed by the time we actually get a hold of it.
Yeah, I don't want y'all coming back. But Respawn said we're gonna have 3 minutes. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No.
Market episode. When we get to episode 243 and we're talking about the new poison subclass, then you can come back and be like, well, remember when that leaked way back in August of 2022?
Yeah, sometime, somewhere, somehow. Yeah, then we'll discuss it. But for now, we're moving on to something else.
You know what we do have?
What's
have this week at Bungie for the 11th of August 2022, the last TWAB before the new season. Wait, no. One more. Yeah, no. Yeah, last TWAB, yeah, because today's 13th. Yeah. Time. Time is hard. Time zones are hard. Calendars are hard. Yeah, because yeah. So we're talking about things mostly that are not going to happen until the 23rd. So I know we talk about a lot of things this week at Bungie, and it happens, the next Tuesday. Basically, by the time you hear the show in lovely podcast form, it's like, oh, it's now Tuesday. Now I can go play these things that they all talked about. Basically, no. This is, typical end of the season. We're talking about, in this case, weapons, a little bit of weapon tweaking. Some things going up, some things going down. They've given a giant machine gun sweet business in-air accuracy boost.
I saw that. I was like, yeah.
Someone's just like, sure, why not? Yeah, because that's how I use the sweet business, leaping in the air. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
No. Well, I mean, to be fair, the first thing I thought of is a warlock popping their nade and then floating in the air and just being a literal AC-130,
Yes, sir. Personnel. Clear to engage this also.
Okay, so that's fair. That'll be, but everyone else, stay on the ground. Stay on the ground. Bring a friend, and just lay waste to everything because it's a meme weapon and it's very silly. And if you all haven't voted for it to get its new ornament, I don't know what you're doing. Because I agree, the Rat King doesn't need one. The Arbalest won't be a thing next season.
Well,
Give the sweet business.
Shall I tell you what they're doing?
Ornament.
They're waiting for their emails.
Ornament.
That's what they're doing. They're waiting for their emails that doesn't come until the 16th.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's today? Today is the
13th.
Today's the 13th.
Not 16th.
Yeah. Okay, so Tuesday. so reset day, they're going to send me the email. And I'm going to say, give me a sweet business ornament. And they're going to say, great, by 2025 or whatever. You'll see it.
Right.
It'll be awesome.
We'll forget about it entirely between now and then, of course.
No, never forget.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are joining former Destiny podcaster Mercules to tell us about weapons and things.
You've got to give it to Mercules. He's done quite a bit of, well,
truly.
Not him specifically, he's done quite a lot of work, but I feel his influence in this TWAB on the weapon specifically. He's like, I'm a Destiny player. I've reviewed all these weapons. I've gone through all the different things that irritate me with using these weapons. And I'm going to take this to Bungie when I start working there. And I'm going to go through these things with the sandbox team. And we're going to start addressing all the things that are just annoying to Destiny players. And I feel like he's done that in this TWAB. He's fitted right in with Bungie straight away by not actually going into the specific dates and times that these things are going to be released. Because I hate it when they talk about, well, we have buffed this, we have done that. I know you in your mind, you've done this, but we haven't got that in our hands. So technically it's not here yet. So you telling us this has been buffed, that has been buffed. It's not been buffed for me because I haven't got that in my hands. It's the same with the last sandbox update. They didn't give us a date and time for that. It just suddenly came and we were like, oh yeah, this is what they told us.
And things they said they did that actually didn't happen, like the sidearm, the sniper sidearm that they said they nerfed and it's still buffed. Yeah. Stuff like that.
So yeah, he's fitting right in, and good luck.
And there's that's actually an issue someone brought up in Respawn's report roundup. Someone also brought the same thing, and Cosmo did respond going, "Hey guys, could you tell us when these things are happening?" And even Mercules himself says, "Hey, hello everyone, Mercules here. We've moved a good bit of the balance changes from season 18 forward to the mid-season patch of season 17. Surprise! We already have it. So this will be a bit lighter of a weapon sandbox top than usual. That being said, there's some changes they're still really excited about, so they're waiting to dive in." All right, so give us our TLDR, Respawn.
So your TLDR is buff some underutilized weapon archetypes such as scout rifles, high impact auto rifles, and light bow guns. Also heavy grenade
bow
launchers
guns?
and PvE.
Is a bow gun like a bow gun?
Lightweight bows.
It's a single shot weapon.
No, we
It-
have bow guns now,
it-
dude. They look like
Bowgun.
crossbows with clips on them. Come on. You
That
haven't
would
seen those
so-
yet?
That's
Can
what
I-
they should do. Yes.
Can I use my bow gun with my sword blade?
New weapon idea. New weapon
Only
idea.
if it's an exotic. Oh, if we're
New-
gonna get weapon ideas, you go first, and then
New
me and the
weapon
chat
idea.
came up with something. Go ahead, go.
Crossbow like that, but you remember the old-fashioned ones where you stand on it and you have to load it with the big arrow. Imagine that, but you have two arrows like a sniper. So it's just as powerful as a sniper, and
Okay.
it works similar to a sniper. But obviously, they give it different perks and
That
different.
better hit like a grenade launcher if you gotta take that long to
And it
load.
only-
You know
yeah,
how
it
long
takes,
it
it takes
takes to
special
load?
ammo, and it takes two ammo, but you can load two at a time. But you can't. Some of them you can't fire straight away. Off because you need to kind of keep them in check with sniper rifles. But yeah, we should have crossbows like that.
Okay.
Go on, Bungie. Or little
RPG.
handheld crossbows, like
Mhm.
like a little submachine gun or a sidearm that fires off rapid hits. That'd
Sure.
be good.
Yeah,
We'll have two.
those things exist with little magazines on them too, like a little
know.
cylinder. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a real thing. Yeah,
Put that in the game.
why
So
not?
that's weapon ideas for season 22, 26, and maybe 28. So yeah, there you go.
So me and the chat were having a good time. They were just talking about exotics they'd like to see made, and I was like, you know what? If we're really just going ham about it, I want to see an exotic shotgun. The shotgun is going to be belt fed. It's going to shoot slugs. It is going to have precision damage. It is going to have trench barrel and 1-2 punch, and they detonate on impact. Yes. That is what I want to see as a heavy. I want to see a shotgun, belt fed, explosive rounds.
Well, there's good news further on in the 12 for you.
Well, I guess we're gonna see it.
The Legend of Actress.
No, that's
no,
what started
re-
the conversation, but it's not. No.
It's getting there.
Eh,
Go on then. Sorry.
All right, anyway, so okay, buffed multiple perks, fixed some bugged perks, and updated some perk descriptions to be a little more accurate. We buffed multiple exotic weapons. That's it. That's the whole line. That'll give you details.
Yes.
Added intrinsic
Normally,
and-
don't forget when we go through these things that there will be patch notes released literally as the game updates and goes live with the new season. There'll be like a wall of patch notes that go right. This, and this, and then Peroty and I sift through them. Go, have we told the people about this, and this? And then we update you and tell you what's actually been updated about 2 or 3 days later.
Right, what do you say?
Or we sometimes throw our hands up and go, yeah, there's things in there. You can read them. We did
Right.
our best.
We don't do that. We're very
They've also
professional.
added intrinsic anti-champion functionality to some exotics. They have also reworked a couple of exotic weapons whose functionality was causing issues, and updated the perk pools for Days of Eternity weapons, and gave them a new origin trait. What's
Right,
that
can we
trait? Who knows?
Can we stop that just there? I haven't heard anybody else talk about this, and Bungie, I don't think Bungie have kind of clarified this just yet. What happens to all your Dares of Eternity weapons that you have kind of god rolled now?
No, those are useless. Get rid of them. You don't need them anymore.
You keep them, nothing happens to them. They
No,
haven't said
no,
they're going to retroactively change them.
delete them. Delete them all. They're useless. You need new Dares of Eternity weapons with new origin traits.
The new
Nope,
origin
just delete
trait,
them
yeah.
all.
But like, I have some really good rolls I don't want to delete. So unless they're physically changing the guns in my inventory, I'm leaving them the hell alone.
They're going to send a Bungie employee to your house, and they're going to take those away from you.
That was the FBI, sir. And no.
Yeah, so that's where 19's brain went. My brain went, okay, so I guess Dares is sticking around because again, it was part of the 30th anniversary, and they stuck it in
Well,
there,
Bungie said
and everyone's
it's
like,
sticking
well, for
around.
how long?
Yeah,
It
Okay,
is, and they're
did
trying to
they
make
ever
it
actually
fresh again,
confirm
aren't
that?
they?
no, they never said how long, but they said it's sticking around for a while. Quotes a while.
Yeah, yeah. So at least, yeah. I mean, they're I'll say improving it. At least adding things to it. So at least it's through this
Relevant,
next season and maybe until Nightfall or whatever.
Yeah.
maybe.
So I don't know if your existing weapons that you've already got god rolls of will automatically update with an origin trait. Normally they don't.
Sounds like no. Yeah,
Sounds like a no. So it
nope.
just makes you go back into Dares and
Mhm.
get these ones with the origin trait if the origin trait is going to be something significant. If it isn't, you're probably just happy to stick with your god roll.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I think it's if the origin trait is going to enhance the weapons in a way that does make them a little bit better. I think you're going to find a lot more people go, well, I'm not happy with this Bungie, and they haven't done it as yet or started to complain just yet. So it's something I think that's going to probably rear its ugly head depending on the origin trait.
Yeah, because that's
Yeah,
one
so-
they've given us some other origin trait changes, but they haven't told us what that one is yet.
No.
Right.
Hopefully, it'll be something useful and applicable outside of Dares. Hopefully, they've learned their lesson from the last batch of origin traits they just tweaked or
And
are
I
going to
believe
tweak.
Xur only refreshes. You can only reset his rank 5 times in total. Bungie don't refresh him at the beginning of every season, so you can't go through and play Dares and get a golf ball. You only get that the first time through, and then you can only rank him up, I think, another 4 more times after that. So it's 5 in total. And I think that was to stop people from just farming him for golf balls. But maybe they need to update that. Maybe they need to refresh him after a while.
I still haven't got my first golf ball from him. I'm like one rank below the golf ball, but I just never finished.
So you haven't got your exotic catalyst for your sidearm then? Because you had to rank
No.
up twice with him to get that.
No, I did not. Nope.
Oh, you're missing out. You need to do that.
I didn't really like the sidearm, so tomato potato.
Okay, fair enough. Carry on, sir.
All right. We have global changes as well. We fixed an issue introduced in the 30th anniversary update that caused too much heavy ammo to drop when running double special weapons. Well,
It's never too much.
Well, that's what I no, see. The thing is, I said too much, right? You can't drop primary ammo anymore, and Bungie doesn't like to give you the ammo of the weapon type you're currently using to encourage you to use the others, right? So if you're using special, you don't get primary anymore. The only thing left to drop is the heavy, right?
But it
So
doesn't
to me,
seem to be
it
an
made
issue with
sense
the
that there
30th
was going to be a
anniversary
lot of
when-
heavy.
The 30th anniversary shouldn't really be an issue because it just throws heavy at you anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if you're using double specials, what else is it going to drop except heavy? So
If
I
you manage
didn't
to
see the
jump
problem.
through the circle of death at the first part and get the buff going into the second part, you get unlimited heavy. And then if you choose the right door going into the final boss, you get unlimited heavy. So
Well, this is globally in the game that this is happening, not just theirs.
oh, okay.
Yeah. No, anywhere in the game, if you know, because I've run double special a lot with double
Okay.
grenade launcher, right? Or a grenade launcher and a choice rifle, right? So I've done double specials a lot this season, and yeah, there's just gobs of heavy all around the map
Who
because what else
cares
is it going to
about-
drop?
We want extra heavy. Everybody loves
Right.
lots of heavy.
Right, I didn't see a problem, Bungie. I don't know why
Hercules,
you had
no, I'm
to
not happy
quote,
with that
fix
one.
that.
Do not
No.
fix issues like that.
Several weapon slots were previously hidden, which made fully evaluating weapons difficult, you think. Airborne effectiveness, recoil, direction, zoom, and aim assist are now visible in the weapon inspection screen. I didn't see that.
Oh my god.
They're
That's because it's
going-
not visible
they're
yet.
going to be.
This is what I
Going
said
to
at the
be.
beginning, remember?
None of these
Not yet.
changes have happened yet.
Oh.
This
I
is
thought
the
he-
future. This is
All right.
the
Well, all right. Well, he said
This-
mid-season patch of 17, so I thought it was a
That's
No.
what I was clarifying at the beginning because he's gotten straight into the Bungie way of things of saying we've done this and we've done that. But
Right.
we, as the players, have not got that in our hands as yet.
Gotcha,
right.
gotcha.
So are we going to see these this Tuesday? Probably not. Are we going to see them
Next
the beginning of the season on the 23rd? Most likely, yes. So not
Nice.
this coming Tuesday, not as you're listening to this show, but as you're listening to the next show, when the new season drops, these changes are coming into effect. But honestly, this is as much as we're unhappy about the heavy change, everyone should be very happy about this because I mean, recoil direction and stuff and aim assist have never been in the UI of the video game you are playing. You've had to use a third-party app to see any of this information, which is nutty and ridiculous. So I'm glad they finally said, let's put all this into the game so you can see it in the game.
And the
So you
best
can hold
part is
these
being
6
able
weapons next to each other
put
and
these
compare
perks
them.
on and change your perks and see live how it changes your recoil direction and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
Actually,
nice.
you know, make informed decisions versus going, what's the recoil direction? Let me load up
Informed
DIM and find
decisions.
out.
Ah! You're still gonna use the same auto rifles you always use.
No, I might. Well, yeah. I'm using the same auto rifles, but my choice of pulse rifles may change. You know,
Well, there you
nice You know, I want that verticality. Vertical thing. I
who
want to shoot
doesn't?
you in the head and the chest versus the head and your buddy next to you.
I like the stability because I don't care. Because stable gives you a smaller grouping. Verticality might be straight up and down, but that straight up and down could be an entire body length. Whereas stability might give you a grouping slightly to the left or to the right, but they're all like in the center of his chest instead of riding up on him. So, to each their own. I prefer stability over recoil direction, but you do you. So speaking of weapon archetypes, we have scout rifles. We felt they could use a bit more of love in PvE.
7th season in a row, that was true.
Right? When are they going to actually give them the love? Increase the damage of all scout rifles versus minor enemies. Red bars in PvE by 10%. See, that's why nobody uses them, because you're only making them good against the red bars. You know, the problem isn't the red bars. Hell, a single throwing knife, Titan Punch, or Warlock Snap can take out an entire mob of red bars. We don't need that. We needed to do extra damage to pink bars and bosses. All right?
Yes.
Yellow bars and bosses. Right? That's what we need. We don't care about the red bars. Red bars, you know, are there for our ability recharges. Okay? We don't need those guns to do that. That's ability stuff. All right? We need these to do more damage against actual challenging champions. Make it do 10% more damage to champions.
Saying that though, if you pop 3, say if you've got your scout rifle and you've got like Rampage on there and Rampage spec, if you've popped 3 enemies or minor enemies and actually killed them and got the Rampage spec up to 3, surely that's going to give you more damage on the yellow bars and the bosses.
For 6 seconds.
Which you need to use your scout rifle on them anyway because they've got the champion mods on it.
Right.
At the moment, yeah.
So, I mean, for 6 seconds, what instead of a permanent 10% buff.
But
right?
I feel that they do things like this because there is something ultimately that they're trying to get to, which is why they're not increasing like.
Yes, you're playing devil's advocate. I know, but I'm not. I'm
but
I'm looking at what's written on the wall right here.
But honestly, I would love to see scout rifles a little overpowered in PvE. PvE for a season. They've been so underpowered for so long. I feel like every single season, every single patch, they're like, we feel scout rifles are underperforming. I'm like, give them a bigger boost. Like, you know, don't go all Galahorn with them. Don't give them like 600% more damage, but like, give them a reasonable boost. You know, make them something good. Give me a reason to want to use it in higher end activities versus you could have this, but why? Or you've got to use this with the champion mod anyway. So make me want to use the thing.
And I mean, personally speaking, right? I am a huge fan of the rapid fire scout rifle.
That's all of them.
No, it's not all of them.
It's called full auto mod. That's all of them. What do you mean?
No.
I hold the trigger down and it goes
with full auto, but I'm talking about the naturally full auto.
The Vice, which are quite nice.
Not even the Vice ones. I'm actually trying to look through my vault for one of them, and I think I deleted most of them. Hold on.
Scorpion. The Scorpion SR4.
It's not bad, but it's still not as good, in my opinion, as the
Trusty.
Ashes Embrace.
Yes, thank you. The Trusty. That's what it is, right? Because the Trusty, you can get Redirection and Reconstruction. You can also get a combination of Surplus and Wellspring, right? So both of those are wombo combos for a scout rifle, right? And let's look at Redirection, Reconstruction, right? So Reconstruction gives you up to double your magazine capacity, right? And as you fire this gun, every second or every 3 seconds, I can't remember, but periodically, it's putting ammo back in your magazine even as you're firing it. You don't need a kill. You don't need to land hits. It just happens, right? And then redirection, the more red bars you kill, you gain stacks of redirection, which means when you start firing at a yellow bar, you'll do extra damage to that yellow bar that we were talking about, right?
So
So
you're saying that the
trusting,
10% damage increase on the scout rifles is going to help the trustee.
well, trusty, yeah, I mean, it is a scout rifle. It also happens to be a rapid fire, full auto pulse rifle that you can get up to double your magazine capacity, and that magazine refills all the time. So, I want to see that come back, and it's aesthetically beautiful too. This gun is just all around amazing.
What was funny was when I did the raid with the guys last week or the week before, I got a trustee to drop, and the first thing I checked, does it have respawn, reconstruction, and redirection, or whatever it was? I was like, oh, it doesn't. But, at least I know what I'm looking for, because he said it so many times.
It's so good. I love it, dude.
Yep.
For the season this gun came out, it was always on me.
Yeah, and it was
Always.
you constantly went on about this role, and I'm like, in the back of
Yep.
my head, I'm looking for this role
So
every
good.
single.
Yep.
And then for the primary, I had the shotgun, which also has reconstruction, or the sniper rifle that's got reconstruction. And then in the heavy slot, I had the light machine gun, which has reconstruction.
And if people are looking for reconstruction as a perk, where can they find this? Where can these weapons with the reconstruction perk
the
drop?
space raid,
Deep Stone Crypt.
that one.
Yeah.
The only raid or only place that you can get those perks on those weapons.
So these are the Deep Stone Crypt. Now, like to 19's point, the Ashes Embrace Scout Rifle also is a rapid fire frame. And so if you want to play Trials, and I think that was the Trials reward weapon for playing X number of Trials matches for the challenge. I think it was there was a Scout Rifle that dropped for that. Or if you just want a Scout Rifle that is, you don't have to go suffer through Trials, and you're trying to maybe get your Gambit anything done this week, the Servant Leader is the same rapid fire frame that shoots full auto natively, rapid fire, full auto. Don't need to slap the full auto mod on it. And those you can, either just grind for in Gambit, or you can also target with your little Gambit engrams as you're playing Gambit, trying to get your whatever's unlocked.
Yeah.
And a Servant Leader is a lot of fun. Like, it's not going to be out there being the best weapon in the entire game, but you can get some good rolls on it. It's still a fun little full auto scout rifle to use.
It is.
And the light machine gun, not only does it come with reconstruction, it comes with something else that also refills your magazine as you go. So like there was a role where you would just have like Peroty would be in heaven, just unlimited rounds until you just run out of ammo, period. Anyway,
because all I have is a trustee, because that's like the only thing I've ever gotten from that raid. The once or twice I ran it.
Some T-Rex is talking about a god roll that Shawhan gives you. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yes,
Scout rifle, I guess.
Yes, you do.
Night Watch.
Night Watch.
Oh, that. Oh,
which is not a rapid fire, but it is a good.
Mine's rapid fire.
Right. It can be made rapid fire, but yes, yeah. If you do the new light quest, Shawhan does give you a Night Watch with a good roll on it, and yeah, so the Night Watch is a lightweight frame. But yeah, you can make it rapid fire by slapping that full auto retrofit mod onto it.
And it is actually a very good scout rifle.
And that can roll with overflow. So while not reconstruction, you can overflow it, and it becomes good fun.
Yeah, it's a primary scout, and it's a 200 RPM. And the one that Shawhan gives you for completing the mission has explosive payload and overflow.
Nice.
A handling masterwork. But it's pretty decent. Kind of doing Nightfalls, Grandmaster Nightfalls, solo Lost Sectors. It's a pretty good one. So if you're new to the game, it's worth completing that quest just to get that weapon. It may look meh, but it's decent.
I don't think it looks meh. It's not the best one, but it's not.
It's like meh, but it's pretty decent for what it is.
It's definitely a good one to stash into your vault if you need. I mean, I played the original Witch Queen quest. In that last mission where you had to just sit back and just plink away at Savathun, I pulled that thing out and just went to town with that. It's a good option just to hang out with if you don't have another good scout rifle in the primary slot you like.
Yeah.
And so that was the first thing. But the scout rifles, they also, the changes in addition to the baseline damage buff given in the Solstice balance patch. So I mean, they're trying.
Yeah, they're trying with scouts.
Now, Peroty, here you go. High impact which is the slower firing 360 RPM auto rifles, and the exotic auto rifle that goes between the both of them. That one, yeah. This subfamily of auto rifles has good damage output but low ease of use, leading them to underperform compared to other options in the same engagement ranges. Well, yeah, because they fire as slow as some scout rifles, and they usually have, as a trade-off to their high damage, you have really bad stability. So those rounds are just hitting all over the damn place, right? So they're not easy to use.
Yeah. With those, you're looking at
Increase.
things like the Herod C, which is one from the Witch Queen.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
pretty decent. That's
Yep.
a stasis one, primary.
There's one from
Your false promises. If you've held on to some false promises from a couple seasons back, that's a 360 primary.
It's a raid one, right? It's slow firing. It's got a big magazine.
So not the come to pass, which you can craft.
Hold on, I'm gonna find it.
But
No, it's not a come to pass.
You know, it is also a 360 auto rifle.
Go on.
The Sweet Business.
Is it?
In Dim,
it is, yeah.
Yeah, in Dim, you can. I honestly didn't realize you can do like his auto rifle. You can also say stat : RPM : and it will show you what what your RPM stats are. Wow. I did not realize it was a 360, but apparently Sweet Business technically a 360 now. Does it get tweaked the same way? Who knows? And it's still an auto rifle. So, am I using that?
That's going to be interesting to see.
We'll see. Yeah, is that getting its its damage output? I mean,
is it going to get its
day in the sun? Lot of damage. Yeah, you can do a lot of damage if you can stand there for an hour and a half and shoot the thing.
Mm-hmm. So the one I was referring to is a really old one that I farmed for a god roll forever, and I never got one. Never ever got one. But it's called the Age-Old Bond. It's from the raid that's got Shirochi, Last Wish. Thank you.
Okay.
So
it is a 360.
It's up this week. It's up this coming week. Come Tuesday, you could run that raid. It's the pinnacle.
Oh, there you go.
So you can have another shot at it.
And it's called the Age-Old Bond. It's got good base recoil direction of 94, at least my roll does, right? A range of 87 and an impact of 33, which is high for an auto rifle. Problem is stability is 23. Again, what we were getting into, it just hits all over the place. Now this gun, aesthetically beautiful. It's got a larger magazine, 32 rounds ish, give or take, right? But the perks you can get on it are pretty good too. You can get dynamic sway, you can get tap the trigger, triple tap, Zen moment, and you can pair that with kill clip, high cal rounds, ambitious assassin, or dragonfly. So all in all, a really good, very aesthetically pleasing auto rifle. And then there's
I've got one that's got ambitious assassin, tap the trigger, ricochet rounds with fluted barrel, and a ranged masterwork that I've held on to, and I'm glad I did because that's the ambitious assassin's getting a bit of a buff later on in the 12.
Yeah. Your chickens have come home to roost.
This one is for Peroty.
See? We don't clear out the vault. This is what happens. You get some good rolls that potentially could be amazing.
Right. Good so, Peroty, this one's for you. This is also an auto rifle, right? Pretty sure this is 360, right? Let me double check. Oh, no, this is actually 720. Oof. So this one doesn't get the bonus, but it's called the Reckless Oracle. And this one gets a full-on drum magazine.
Yeah, I don't have one of those either. Yeah, but I don't care. It's not being touched, so what do I care? I don't have one, and they're not changing it. I'm all about the 360s. We're about 360s now.
You're right. I thought that was a 360 with just a big ass drum, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, ooh. I remember I was looking for a god roll because
I've got a pile of Herod C's, False Promise, and a Sweet Business in my vault, so we're good. And
you got all the
pass, which I would have loved to come to pass. I crafted one. I've used it like 3 times. Maybe this will be a reason to use it.
Perhaps you were saying something, Damon?
I was just saying, it's interesting. The next line, it says that they've increased the base stability stat of all non-sunset high-impact auto rifles. So this is all the new ones, including Sweet Business, by 6 to 12, depending on the weapon. So does Business get a bit more stability?
Sweet Business, though, is not a high impact. That's what I was curious about. So Sweet Business is a payday frame, or it has, again, it's an exotic, it's its own thing. So while it theoretically does get the the boosted damage output with the 360s, it's not getting the high impact auto rifles. Now the high impacts are the one are basically the same too. The Heresy, the False Promises, the Come to Pass. Those are high impacts.
Okay.
But the Sweet Business is not a high impact frame. It's a payday frame. I'm assuming it says payday in that same slot, so I'm assuming it's a payday frame.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it doesn't get the high impact boost. It does get the others, and I assume the other 360s. I assume are all high impacts that
Or
we've
does it?
mentioned.
Is it one of those things where we're saying that it doesn't, but it might get that last word kind of slipped under the radar?
So
kind of
until then,
by
let's talk
accident.
about lightweight bows.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, yeah. Will it? Will it not? We'll find out. But now tell me about the bow guns.
Yeah, tell us
just
about
no,
bows.
just bows, not bow guns, just bows. This stuff, okay. You keep talking about bow guns, right? And we were making jokes about crossbows and this and that.
You
and the other.
started it.
Then I tell you
Yeah, you
guys
started
that at
Squirrel!
So when you say bow gun, that's what comes to mind.
No.
And it's
We don't say bow gun. You say bow gun.
Okay.
Yeah. When you say bowgun, all I think are the bowguns from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
No, not quite. But anyway, lightweight bows. This subfamily has languished compared to their higher damage counterparts for some time, in part due to difficulty hitting the perfect draw shots. So we've made it a bit easier. Reduce the base draw time by 5%. Ooh, very nice. Increase the perfect draw window, how long you can hold the drawn bow before you begin to lose accuracy and damage. Stability modifies this window. Nice. So from 30 seconds,
Are you drowning over there?
Oh, dude, so I used to use the hell out of these lightweight bows because they would one-shot red bars and they were fun to use all around. That's why whenever you look up my most used weapons, I still have some of these light bow guns chilling at the top. Oh, damn it! Lightweight bows.
Since you can't stop saying bowgun, I also want to correct myself. It's Vogon with a V in Hitchhiker's Guide, not Bogon with a B, like my brain thought it was. Continue about your bowguns.
Bows, damn. So, I hate you all. But anyway, so I used to use a lot of my favorite one being the Arsenic Bite. To this day, Arsenic Bite is still my favorite because I have one that's rolled with Explosive Head and Rampage. So this bow would just delete everything, right? I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you don't really use them anymore. And this one has Explosive Head and Dragonfly, also very good. But you don't really have an opportunity to use them anymore, right? The Strident Whistle I got with Incandescent, and I tried to use it for this season because of the Incandescent perk. It still doesn't work as good as the mini tool. You know what I mean?
Because I don't think the Strident is a lightweight.
I'm
looking at lightweights right now, and I can tell you it's the Luna.
Okay, well it's close. It's 48. It's 48 milliseconds. It's almost a lightweight.
Well,
right?
Almost a lightweight is not a lightweight.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
The lightweights are the Luna
Arsenic
that
Bite
ain't even mentioned.
The Arsenic Bite is still one. You know what I mean?
Is it actually lightweight? Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, and the one that I have currently is 576 milliseconds. So if that gets reduced, that's going to be even faster. It's going to be amazingly fast. So that might actually have relevance.
One that confuses me is that one, the Whispering Slab, which is the huge bow. How is that lightweight? That is huge.
Is it lightweight? You're kidding.
It's a lightweight bow. It's the Whispering Slab.
It's a
Wow,
melee
it
bow.
is.
You
Yeah.
just melee people with it. You just whack them with the bow, and it does more damage at that point.
You also
Uh,
have Tyranny of Heaven, and you also
Imperial
have
Needle is a
Imperial
really
Needle.
good void one.
Yeah.
It can
Yeah.
roll with really good rolls. Yep.
Yeah, Imperial
Point of the
Needle's good.
Stag. I have some of those. I haven't really got a good roll. Up to
Point of the
you.
Stag isn't.
Meh.
And there's
Oh,
one
sorry.
craftable. The fell Terradiddle is your primary combat bow. It's also a lightweight, which is craftable if you've got
Ooh,
enough to drop to
Tyranny
craft.
of
So,
Heaven.
and then I've deleted the rest of the bows because
Yeah.
Yo, I have a Tyranny of Heaven with Explosive Head and Archer's Tempo. That's gonna.
So they've reduced the base time draw by 5%. So that's pretty decent. If you
Yeah,
missed
no,
that, because
very
I
good.
missed it, and I know I was listening to Respawn.
It also increased. Oh, so your perfect draw window is being increased, and they're making it so that your stability affects how big this window is for your perfect draw, which is cool. So now stability on bows actually means something, because before, why would you need stability on a bow?
Yeah.
Honestly. Hand cannons.
is
X-Dire.
actually before we move on to hand cannons, is that helped by the what's the exotic that lets you hold a bow draw forever? Does that benefit you in any way?
No, because that you always have the perfect draw. Period.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a hunter exotic piece? Is that
It
I
is.
can't remember which one it is. I'm
Oath
drawing a blank
Keepers.
on the name.
Oathkeeper's gauntlets.
Ah, thank you.
That's okay. I rock
Yeah.
them all the time.
It
Mhm.
will help the draw time though. It will help you pull the bow back faster, regardless of whatever you're wearing. But the gauntlets just give you the perfect draw no matter how long you hold it. That's the difference. So hand cannons. Its dire promises zoom stat got changed to 13 inadvertently. It's now 14 again. Glaives. Ooh, what you doing with glaives? Their interactions with some exotic armor pieces can be confusing. So we explicitly made some changes to align better with our stated goals. Glaive melee attacks. So you physically hitting somebody with the glaive can now activate the exotic armor perks on ACD feedback fence. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And
Go back. We need to go back. We've gone too far in the wrong direction. Karnstein armlets and necrotic grip. Uh-oh. I don't like this, Bungie. Take it back. Take it back.
We do need to go back because actually the Oath Keepers, they passively also give you 40 airborne effectiveness, and bows have a negative 30 millisecond draw time, so it might actually let you draw even faster. Sorry, I had to look it up out of curiosity.
No, that's fair enough.
What's the Karnstein armlet?
They are the Warlock gauntlet.
Warlock.
What do they do?
They are. They give you melee kills, instantly restore a large amount of health, and continue to restore health afterwards.
Those!
After a short
Yes! I'm
Yeah.
actually wearing those right now. I put those on my Warlock in preparation for Solar.
On the melee kill, it gives you 50 hit points and constantly regenerates 30 hit points a second, lasts for 8 seconds, can be refreshed. That's the Vampire's Caress perk on that.
Nice. That's a really good change. I like that. Okay, that one can stay. ACD feedback, not a fan. Really not a fan.
I mean, are those going to continue to work if you're in the same room as the feedback fence? Because I feel like those in the chain of those, you get someone in PvP with those things, you die from across the room because the feedback fence just saw you walk in.
Gotcha. Breach grenade launchers. Concussion grenades can no longer roll in the magazine slot. Blinding grenades are a better option in the same slot that serves the same purpose. Thank you. I had at least 3 freaking grenade launchers that had my only 2 options were concussion or blinding, and I was so upset.
See, that change there, and the one about the hand cannon with the dire promise. I feel like this is Mercury's going in on day one with his list of things that right. We need to do these things because these make no sense. Handing them a long list of things, it just feels like a Mercury's thing to me.
Heavy grenade launchers.
Mhm.
These don't see a ton of support in PvE, so we hope this makes them feel a bit better as DPS or yellow bar clearing options. Increase damage versus majors and above by 10%, excluding Parasite. Damn it! Which does not need to do more damage. Why? The only thing. Okay, so Parasite definitely needs to do more damage if you're going to give it a buff. Because why not, right? It's just a freaking yellow bar, right? And also the other one that you can make fences with electric pellets that was in use forever. I want that to come back in a bad way.
The Anarchy.
Thank you. Yes,
No,
Anarchy.
fences
needs
with
to come
electric pellets is a good one.
I speak fluent Respawn.
Yeah. That needs to come back in a bad way. I loved it. I hate it when they nerfed it. Give it more buffs.
Well, I
10%
mean,
is just the beginning. We need more.
To be fair, you're about to walk into a season of Arc, so
Even better.
Feels like the opportunity for it to come back and be useful seems high.
Even better. Well, so the Thunderlord too. They're making buffs to the Thunderlord. So, weapon pools. Updated the perk pools for Dares of Eternity weapons. We already said that. Addressed an issue where playlist Crucible, Gambit, and Strike weapons aren't randomizing individual perk columns, perk counts correctly based on the number of resets.
And what does that mean?
Well, sometimes when you reset, your weapon's supposed to have an additional perk in the column. So instead of having one perk, you're supposed to have two. Instead of two, you're supposed to have three. And it's not doing that.
And when you say reset, does that mean you go from level 1 to 16 and reset with that vendor and then play through again?
Yes.
Exactly.
Perks. The Gambit and Iron Banner origin traits were too specific to be generally useful. So they've both been redesigned. Invader Tracker, which was the Gambit origin, renamed Gun and Run, redesigned functionally to give a sprint speed increase on multi-kills. Kind of meh. Sulking Wolf, Iron Banner origin trait, redesigned to activate on kills while at low health. What?
Meh.
Seems
But
dumb.
we spoke about a change to Iron Banner last week that is going to be based on multi-kills. So if you've got increased sprint speed on multi-kills from a gun that you've got from Gambit and you're using it in Iron Banner, surely that's going to help you get around quicker to kill more people, to get more multi-kills.
But you have to be killing people while you're at low health.
No. The Invader Tracker one, the Gambit one.
Yeah, the Gun and Run.
The Gun and Run one.
Gun and Run, I appreciate. Yeah, the Gun and Run is a really good change because Invader Tracker, silly, useless, fine, whatever. The Gun and Run, way better. I like that it's still useful in Gambit because you're gunning and you're running and that's all you're doing. But yeah, with the new Iron Banner Eruption mode, that seems like a perfect fit for that. And yeah, it gives you the Skulking Wolf a reason to use it because there was 2 Iron Banners. And other than that, it's like, yeah, you could have this, but why? I like the activate on, I like that it's on low health and that's where you are in PvP all the time anyway. It's not, it's not one of those perks that punishes you for dying or for being bad or for something bad happening. It's just you're engaging in gunplay. You're going to be at low health. Hopefully this will give you a little bit of an extra boost.
Yeah, so
I like both of those changes a lot.
It says redesigned to activate on kills whilst at low health. So what
does it do?
Yeah, what activates is that at the moment it says during the hunt or whilst your team is carrying the spark, final blows with this weapon grant enhanced radar and remove you from the opposing radar. So if you get a kill while on low health, you suddenly get removed from radar. And enhanced radar.
So right. So if you're low health, now you have a chance to hide and okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes a little more sense now. All right.
Mm-hmm. So that's going to be good for the new Iron Banner. Both of those weapon perk. And again, if they're renaming them and redesigning the functionality, Mercules, calling it you out specifically, please be specific to say that these will work on weapons that we've already got. Have I now got to go back into Gambit and get those weapons with a new trait?
You got to go back. You know that.
No, but sometimes
that's what I'm curious about because they're the Skulking Wolf. I'm
really retroactively changing things.
Well, that's what I wonder though. But I mean, because the Skulking Wolf, if they're redesigning the perk entirely, if you still have the Skulking Wolf perk on a weapon, it's just going to do a different thing because they're going to change the entire perk. I'm curious if my Invader Tracker weapons are just going to now say, if they're just going to wholesale say remove Invader Tracker, add Gun and Run to all of those existing weapons, or if I'm going to have some with a perk now that aren't going to work anymore. Because I mean, is Invader Tracker going to be a thing in the game after this next season? Like, come Tuesday the 23rd, is Invader Tracker a thing, or are they completely ripping it out and calling it gun and run now? Because if they completely rip it out and completely change Skulking Wolf, I can see all my weapons retroactively get changed. If not, then you're in a weird spot of having this thing that's just weird, and yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. They did it last season when they updated Iron Banner with the Skulking Wolf perk. Because it was just Iron Banner control, that only activated when you went on the hunt. And then as soon as we had Iron Banner Rift, they updated the perks. So if you already had a weapon with it on, it then included when you were running with a spark as well. So I'm hoping that it's just going to be across the board. It's just going to completely change the weapons that you currently have. But it'd be nice to know ahead of time.
It will be.
Ooh, Ambitious Assassin has a good change coming.
Exactly. That's why I wanted that weapon.
Ambitious Assassin has fallen behind perk-wise against things such as Overflow. We've adjusted this to have a higher potential than before. So you increase magazine overflow instead of starting at 10%, starts at 20% per kill. On primary weapons only, special and heavy have not changed. However, it has increased the overflow cap from 50% your magazine size to 150% your magazine size at the high end. So, yummy.
Now that gets me excited.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that second part right here, because they didn't specify primary only. So, are we talking rocket launchers that normally have one in the chamber are going to have 3?
Possibly.
I hope so. Because I have a few rocket launchers that have that I use quite frequently. Wellspring had an internal cooldown to prevent it from activating too frequently. We no longer feel this is needed. Ooh. Remove cooldown from Wellspring. Cooldown has been removed, allowing for rocket launchers and grenade launchers to return more ability energy when defeating groups with a single shot. That's sexy. Perpetual motion was triggered frequently enough to be annoying. So we've disabled the audio-visual feedback on perk activation. Nice.
Just assume it's there all the time.
Pretty much, yeah. Left from Gold wasn't respecting the functionality of splitting the special ammo picked up when 2 special weapons were equipped. Now it gives the correct amount of ammo to each weapon when 2 special weapons are equipped. Aw, that's a nerve. Ew. Concussion grenades can no longer roll on breach grenade launchers. Vice Singer was intended to grant ammo on weapons that support it and to charge draw time on bows only. This was inadvertently applying to linear fusion rifles as well. Ooh! Making it too strong for an origin trait on them. Ah, sad.
So going back to the Ambitious Assassin, if you've got a Salvager's Salvo, or you got yourself a Salvager's Salvo, which was the ritual weapon for one of the seasons, I can't remember which one it was.
Last season, I believe, right?
No, I think it was before the Witch Queen. I think it was the
rocket launcher,
the battleground,
that has
the grenade launcher.
Grenade launcher.
Oh, grenade launcher. Sorry, I'm thinking
yeah, that has a Ambitious Assassin or Demolitionist on it with Vorpal and Chain Reaction. So that's going to be interesting.
Still an amazing grenade launcher.
So you might, if you've deleted it, you might still be able to pull it back out of your collections.
Yeah, it was introduced in season 13, so a couple back.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Why would you delete it?
Well, I haven't deleted it, but I'm saying to other people they might have deleted it, which is reacquirable from your collections because it is a weapon.
Like who? Like in general, because that is a phenomenally good grenade launcher. Regardless,
I'm going to pick on Peroty. Peroty's probably deleted it.
I honestly assume that I had, but no, surprisingly, I have not. It is still here in my vault.
Good job, Peroty.
It's the only thing I would have done because I would have gone, yeah, I used it for a while then, and I have not touched it probably since season 13.
Well, so I mean, that comes from Ambitious Assassin and Chain Reaction. Like, yeah. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. One to look out for in PvE, I guess.
Zen Moment has always had a description that confused players. Particle Repeater 2. Their descriptions have been updated to say what they actually do.
But we're not
what is that?
Tell you.
I don't know because it's not there.
No.
So we're gonna have to find out what they actually do come next season. Which and this also feels like a Mercury's change of this is stupid. Everyone is confused by it. Let's make it less confusing.
Yeah, I'll write the description for you guys. This is what it does.
Fair enough.
Now, Respawn's favorite section, buffs.
Depends on the buff.
No, all
All
buffs
right.
are good buffs.
We have added anti-champion functionality to several weapons, with the goal of driving more options for each champion type, split across weapon slot and ammo type. We expect to do this from time to time in the future as well. The butterfly added intrinsic overload to poison arrows. Ooh, that's pretty. So you can just overload it all the time. And Lomonarch is always good for overload because the poison ticks count towards stunning him again. So really good change.
Mm-hmm.
Overload
Thunderlord.
champions are the worst.
Right? Thunderlord added intrinsic overload. Again, Malfeasance added intrinsic unstoppable to the explosions. Let's go. And added plus 25 to the base airborne effectiveness stat from 28 to 53. Wow. To match other precision hand cannons intrinsic bonus.
So when they say the explosions on that, is that the 5th shot on the Malfeasance?
Yes.
Because you have to hit something 5 times. That's going to
Yes.
be annoying for the unstoppables, though. Or does it fire fast enough to not be annoying?
It fires very fast, but
Yeah,
the
it
thing
fires
that's
pretty
going to
quick.
make it good
I know it's a
is
180, isn't it? So
it's not the primary damage, but subsequent explosions after that, right? So to get the first 5 in, it's going to take 2 seconds, right? But after that, you're going to keep pumping these shots into them because after that, after they get stunned, they become vulnerable to damage, kinetic damage, right?
Mhm.
So it's going to be doing more damage per shot as they're stunned. And then when they come out of the stun, you're going to trigger those 5-round explosions again, and it's just going to keep them perpetually stunned. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
like
yeah. Pumping 5 of those shots in is probably maybe a little longer than ADSing a weapon to get the overload onto it to fire that shot to stun them. So maybe a little longer, but it's not going to be a major thing. But yeah, especially with the explosions doing more damage, it makes Malfeasance better, which makes me happy because it's one of the few hand cannons I deeply enjoy in this game.
Agreed. It's a very good hand cannon.
And now you can jump with it better because if that's a thing you want to do.
Wish Ender now gets intrinsic anti-barrier. That is the most appropriate thing to give that bow. Also, increased number of hits versus most targets from 2 to 3. So for those of you that are new, Wish Ender had an entry and exit damage, right? Except for the time it was bugged. It had an entry, about 9 internal damages, and an exit. For a while, it was the hardest hitting weapon in the game. But now, you just have the entry and the exit. Except, now we're getting another one. So, instead of just the 2 hits per shot, we're getting 3 hits per shot. It hits more against vehicles. However, it still only gives you the 2 hits against players. So, you get increased damage versus champions, majors, and mini bosses. Golly, that is a change right there. That Wish Ender is coming back with a vengeance. It's getting extra damage, extra shots, which are also going to take part of that extra damage. Anti-barrier. Draw time has decreased by 8 milliseconds. Bungie.
But
seriously,
I see that a lot in Crucible,
super
and the
noticeable.
reason why you'd see it a lot in Crucible is because you can see through walls as you pull the draw back. You can see enemies running through any walls. As long as they're quite close, you'll be able to see where they're going. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. Also wall hacks.
And if you're a hunter, again, you hold with the Oath Keepers, you hold that perfect draw indefinitely, so you can wall hack indefinitely.
But not
just
too
say,
far.
come on, peek. Just peek.
Yeah.
Just peek. That's all I gotta do.
I know you're there.
And I fall for it every time I peek.
Stop peeking.
But seriously, 8 milliseconds? Not 8. Come on. Really? Whatever.
It probably brings it in line with something else, and they were like, it's just easier to make this match the 820 versus 828 because who cares?
I'm excited about Tiku's, though. I do like a
Tiku's
Tiku's.
also another really, really good bow. For those of you who don't know, Tiku's is a bow that shoots 3 arrows at once, right? The first 3 arrows, if you're not sighted in, prime the target. And then you sight in and you fire another 3 arrows, and that detonates the first 3 arrows on the target. So, yeah, it does respectable damage. And now it gets a free small buff from the global lightweight bow change, decreasing its draw time from 612 to 580. Oh, nice. Legend. Oh man, if only it applied Scorch. That would be phenomenal for this season, which is almost over. Anyway, Legend of Acreus has fallen far behind other heavy, short-range weapons and warrants a buff.
Show of hands, who even knew what Legend of Acreus was if you hadn't played in year 1 of D2?
I did, because I went through and got all the catalysts and everything for the damn thing. Thinking it would eventually be good if you got all the pieces together. Because this, for those of you that don't know, Legend of Acreus, you had to kind of build it. So you got the base model, and then you upgraded it to have like a second shot, and then you upgraded it again for a bigger magazine, then you upgraded it again for like a reload perk, I think. And then you upgraded it again to get the catalyst. So for all the work you had to put into it, it was not worth it. Because although it hit like a truck for one round, you had to be within melee distance to get that damage, and then it took forever to reload. It's crazy.
The trench barrel's pretty good for it though. If you're that close with that weapon,
yeah, you'd have. Yeah. Also, okay, so the catalyst now grants the trench barrel perk, which is what he was just talking about. And what does trench barrel do? Since you brought it up,
it's after a successful melee hit, this weapon gains increased damage, handling, and reload speed for a short duration, or until 3 shots are fired.
Which just got neat, especially the reload part.
Yeah. So you want to melee first, go in for the kill, bang, bang, bang. That's it. And then melee again, and then bang, bang, bang again.
So I'm hearing throw hammer, shotgun, throw hammer, shotgun.
Exactly.
Throw hammer, shotgun.
Shouldn't you be like throw a wall of fire, shotgun, throw hammer, shotgun?
I can just stand there and get my hammer back and just keep going and get my roaring flames up.
Yeah, but that initial hit will probably kill a yellow, pink. What color is the damn bar? Yellow bar.
Pink. Just stick with pink, and we gave the people the disclaimer earlier in the show that pink means yellow.
Okay. Different versions of the exotic paired legendary weapons didn't have matching stats, so now we brought them up to parity. Oh, so you approve this? Okay, cool.
I do appreciate them being brought to me.
Yeah.
And the Legend of Acreus, if you have the catalyst, has a magazine of 6. So potentially you could do melee 3 shots, melee 3 shots, and then have to reload. But hopefully, because of the extra impact and damage and whatever else you're getting from that, that yellow bar is going to be gone. Unless it's a boss, of course. But then, even then, that might be quite good in some areas.
It's going to be good damage-wise, assuming, yeah. It's still going to be really good damage
mechanic.
If King's Fall does come back, do not use it against the War Priest. But Golgoroth is prime for this.
And why don't War Priest? It'll be great.
The War Priest. What's wrong with the War Priest?
War Priest has a little stomp mechanic that just kind of kills you automatically. So yeah, you can't get close to him.
Yeah, no, but for other stomp mechanics, for those of you that don't know, or for those of you that are new, if you melee right as a stomp lands or slightly before that stomp, you'll stay in place.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't get knocked away. You'll take the damage, but you won't get knocked away. So
will they. Are you continuing to wail on them?
Are we calling it now? The strat for Golgoroth is going to be Legend of Acreus with the catalyst, and you have to melee first, and then blam blam blam.
I don't know. Let's see what comes first.
Put a bubble on Golgoroth.
Oh yeah,
stand there in the bubble with
on his toe. You have to do it to his toe.
And then use the new enhanced Thunder Crash and the Arc 3.0 rework to just obliterate him in one go.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
And don't forget, if you have the green flashing screen, run away, run away.
Well, see, if we're talking about the Arc reworks, then
no, we're not. But we're just saying
the Hunter. No,
we're not talking about Golgoroth.
Squirrel.
The Hunter stripper pole has always been the highest damage, not DPS. It's always been the highest damaging super in the game for years, right? But nobody ever uses it because you have to hit somebody for 13 seconds to get all that damage, and most damage phases don't even last.
How excited would you be if they brought back Blade Dancer?
Oh.
And
I mean, we already technically have that in Void form.
And they gave you proper Blink for a Hunter.
So, Blink I would like. Blink with 1-2 punch weapons. Yeah. Yeah. I could get behind that. So yeah, you got to stand there for 13 seconds to get all that damage out. Now, if they can make a change such that we can get that same damage, but in a smaller window, instead of it being 13 seconds, maybe make it 6, 8, something, so that it can be a viable freaking super to use in a boss fight where the boss damage doesn't usually last 13 freaking seconds. Just saying, whatever. Or give us a ranged option, like if we're not near a boss and we swing the pole, have it fire out an arc blade or something. I don't know. Something. Mida mini tool. Sorry, Callus mini tool.
Callus first, then Mida.
Increased airborne effectiveness from 23 to 28 to match Mida. Mida mini tool increased zoom from 13 to 14 to match Callus.
So are they the same weapon now? One you can get, one you can't?
Yep, looks like it. One of them, yeah, okay. So, Drang Baroque. Increased airborne effectiveness from 21 to 23 to match the Drang. Again, sweet business.
This all sounds like Mercules being like, this is silly.
Fighting Lions, Season 17, 5% damage buff was rolled back as a part of a fix for larger bug. This is being reintroduced and increased. Now receives the intended buff increase from 5% to 8%, and increases the grace time for the instant reload effect of Thin the Herd from 5 seconds to 6 seconds.
Doesn't matter. Still can't use that weapon to save my life.
I mean, they really need to put it so that it detonates on impact, right? Yeah. If they put it to where it would detonate on impact, that'd be a phenomenal weapon. But since you have to time that thing every time, that's so annoying.
Let me stick it to people. Let me do something. I am the king of bouncing that grenade through the legs of everything I'm fighting.
Yep.
And then they just look at me and go, what was that all about? And I said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
I love the title of the next section. So we've gone from buffs to reworks, not debuffs or nerfs.
Right. Nope.
Reworks.
No, reworks. Mm-hmm. They're different.
Because they don't nerf anymore.
No, they rework it.
They just rework things.
Lord of Wolves has long been a thorn in the side of PvP players, especially when paired with certain exotic armor pieces. We have changed the amount of ammo it starts with and reduced the damage dealt to players. This is part of one larger rework aimed at making it a more viable PvE exotic without increasing its effectiveness in PvP. So, decrease starting ammo in PvP from 15 rounds to 10, and reduce the burst size from 10 to 5 shots when Release the Wolves is active. You shoot 5 shots anyway. So what does Release the Wolves do now? Nothing.
It goes.
What the hell?
I mean, it doesn't need to in PvP, really. Like you release the wolves and everything in front of you is dead or it's not.
I mean,
extra 5 shots really useful.
But now you have an exotic where Release the Wolves is its exotic perk.
It's
does
suppression in PvP, but in PvE it is unchanged, remember?
It doesn't matter. I get what you're saying, but it doesn't make any sense. Release the Wolves has to do something.
It does.
Something.
PvP it doesn't. No.
It does 5 shots instead of 10 now.
That's ridiculous. You get 5 shots anyway.
Do you care? Do you even use this weapon in PvP?
I care because it's fairness, dude. Whether or not I use it is irrelevant. It's not fair for an exotic perk to not do anything.
It does the thing. It still does the thing, but it does it 5 less shots.
You get 5 anyway.
In PvP. You don't care. You don't PvP.
This is Bungie saying we could take the gun away from you, or we could just make it so you stop using it as much.
Might as well take the damn gun away at this point. You've removed this exotic perk entirely. Sorry.
If people are, there's enough other shotguns in PvP, you can find a different one. Mm-hmm. Just pick up the chaperone, everybody will be fine.
Well, this gun is for those people that can't get the precision shots like you can with a chaperone, right?
Mm-hmm. They're also not using Lord of Wolves.
I know. Okay, anyway. Decrease Lord of Wolves base damage by 20%. Oh, now deals 35 per shot in the body in PvP. 44 with Release the Wolves. Okay, so Release the Wolves gives it extra damage. That's it.
All you had to do is continue reading.
Yeah, it's still stupid. And also increases damage in PvE by 20% to compensate. Okay. So 44 times 5, that's still enough to kill somebody in one burst.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they reduce the burst delay too, the time between bursts, by 60% when Release the Wolves is active. So now it shoots all those bursts even quicker. So you get less bursts, but you get more of them. Or you get them quicker, rather.
Dead Man's Tale. The cranial spikes. What is going on with my mouth? I feel like it's sticky. The cranial
shoving in there.
No, that was grits. If anything, the grits would be make it wetter. Wink, wink. Stop distracting. The cranial spike perk was causing issues with unintended damage scalars against players, and generally felt unpredictable to both use and to fight against. It also that doesn't make any sense. Oh, okay, no, I get it. I get it.
It does make sense.
Yeah, okay. It also wasn't quite landing the hip-firing cowboy rifle fantasy as strongly as we wanted to, so we reworked it to lean more into the fast-firing hip fire. We've changed Cranial Spike's effects. Now Cranial Spike no longer buffs damage versus players. Instead, it grants increased reload, aim assist, and range per stack. It still grants additional damage versus PvE combatants. However, upon reaching max stacks of Cranial Spike, the Catalyst will now increase hipfire RPM by 50. That's pretty cool. AKA, it'll fire at 180 RPM instead of 150. It was originally 180 before its initial nerf.
No, they've played about with the RPMs on it, but it was 150. But then when stacking, 50?
It's 120 right now.
Oh, it's 120. Oh, there you go.
Anyway, but it'll reduce damage per bullet, 20% decrease. Stop reducing damage! Oh my god.
We've got to do that.
That change speeds with all kinds of things. No.
We've been over this. You can't fire faster and get the same damage. It has to decrease slightly to make it fairer.
Can.
No, you can't.
Firing faster should reduce accuracy, not damage.
No,
that doesn't make any sense.
No, it has to do the damage. Otherwise, it's a stupid weapon to use. It'd be so oppressive to play against.
It's stupid like this.
No, it has to come in line with the 180s. So, which is why the bullet damage is being decreased to whatever the 180s are.
Look, dude. Look, you live in a place where
we don't have guns.
Ripped off all your guns, right? So let me tell you something. All right, and this can be backed by science, right? No. Here. First of all, they have the same number of homicides. It's just now done with knives instead of guns. You can look that up.
We don't have the same number of homicides. Don't be stupid. You've got a bigger country. Surely you've got more homicides than me.
Yeah, even per capita, I would question that.
No, their homicides have not changed. I'm not comparing them to us. Their homicides from pre and post weapons haven't changed. They still have the same number of homicides.
We did have guns and take them away.
It's just now they do it with knives instead of guns. So nothing's changed. It's just close quarters combat now instead of range.
Anyway, how does this relate to Destiny?
It relates to Destiny because, scientifically speaking, a bullet in a gun is made the same way no matter how fast you shoot it.
Sir, this is space magic. There's nothing scientific about any of this. Take your science back to the lab and keep it out of my video games.
Yeah. Carry on,
so
sir.
Stupid. That's so dumb.
Collective obligation.
Less damage.
Collective obligation.
You're not going to use it. You don't care. Move on.
I do use it. I even go to the server every time he's got a better roll than the one I have.
Have you reached the max stacks of Cranial Spike in PvP?
No.
Then you don't need to care about this. You won't get there. It's a moot point. Move.
But this isn't PvP. Upon reaching the max stacks, this is all around. So it'll shoot faster but do less damage. That's global, dude.
But it's giving you additional damage against PvE combatants. So you still get more damage.
Collective obligation. That's the one thing I don't damn have. We're aiming to make the exotic perk effects easier to activate and more effective in PvE.
So what is collective obligation? Because I wasn't sure what it was.
It is a pulse rifle from the raid where...
it's an exotic one.
It's an exotic, right? Okay. You know how with Void you can suppress? You can... what are the 3 verbs with Void? Suppression...
Depression.
Detonators.
Not detonators. It's not one of them.
It's one of them. I can't remember what it's called, but...
Anyway, all three verbs that you get with Void, right?
Yeah.
If you use this gun to shoot somebody that has those verbs on them, this gun gets those verbs on the gun itself.
Do they have to physically be reading a book to get the verbs?
I'm gonna punch you in
the... So there's the Void buff of Devour, Invisibility, and Overshield, and the debuffs of suppressed, volatile, and weak.
Okay. So Devour, Suppressed, and Volatile are the 3 perks that you get. Okay. So as long as you can shoot somebody with the 2 perks, right, and you have the other one active, where the hunger one, right, the Devour. Thank you. The Devour is active, and you shoot somebody that's got the other 2. Now everybody you shoot will increase your Devour timer. It will suppress them, and it will the third thing the Peroty said, all at the same time with this gun until you have to reload that magazine. But the Devour can shoot after the magazine.
That is too many hoops for me to jump to. I think I'd rather just throw the gun at their face and run away.
It is a lot of hoops, but when you get all 3 of them running, it's incredibly deadly, especially in PvP. I watched Astrocross play with it, and once you get all 3 running, which again is a chore, it gets going.
I don't think I'd ever get them going. I think Astrocross could get them going,
but even in PvE, getting them going isn't hard to do in PvE at all.
Yeah,
but
especially
I'm saying PvP. I'm saying
PvP. Agree. Well, so this weapon has the intrinsic perk of Void Leech.
Yes.
And the weapon leeches void debuffs when damaging targets that are suppressed, weakened, or volatile. Once charged, press reload to swap firing modes. The mode then damages from this weapon applies the same debuff that were leeched. So basically, you attack somebody who's depressed or
somebody that's depressed.
Attack suppressed people.
Yeah, but I can't take it anymore. You just hit everybody with depression.
It's everybody coming out of COVID.
Exactly.
Anyway, so it increases the timer to 15 seconds. But PvP still remains at 10. They've removed the cooldown. They've added a 20% damage bonus against PvE combatants only while Void Leech is active.
Well,
it takes less hits to fully charge. Only. Yeah. It takes less hits to fully charge Void Leech. And goes against debuff targets instantly charge Void Leech. Void Leech is also instantly charged when your character is affected by Void debuffs. Nice. So you get debuffed, it automatically charges. Does not work if hitting yourself with your own suppressor grenade.
Which is too bad, because that is one of my hallmarks of my Titan Void gameplay.
They thought of you specifically.
The amount of times I've thrown a suppressor grenade and it's hit some kind of wall that I didn't see and just bounced back on my head, and I'm like, I'm dead.
And fixed the bug where Umbral Sustenance was activating with non-void overshields. So that's hysterical.
The number of times I've thrown a suppressor grenade into someone in front of me is embarrassing.
So Titans, question.
Yeah.
Answer.
Your barrier, your overshield, right? Has the overshield duration been modified this season?
Don't know. Play solar.
Okay. You still get overshields when you pop a shield, though. But
you get the overshields. They did make a change to it a couple weeks back. I don't remember what the change was because this is solar season.
Yeah. Okay.
They did change it. I just don't remember exactly what the details were weeks back. Okay. I refer you to episode of this show.
Sure. Yeah, go right to that episode. And what about the duration? Has that been changed at all? Do you know?
I think they touched both.
You think they touched both? Okay.
I vaguely remember.
But they increased it, right?
Go back and find it.
Did they increase it? I thought.
Again, they tweaked it. Let me go see if I'll look and see if I can find it.
Why do you do that? Let's think about your barricades, right? When you can still pop a barricade, and the barricade duration is unchanged, right? And you still have the ability that when you pop a barricade, you can give yourself and your allies overshield, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Has the duration of those overshields been reduced at all? The ones you give your allies?
You asking the same questions a different way isn't going to.
Well, no, the allies. The overshields you give your allies, they remain unchanged, right?
Why would I know? Because I'm not my ally. I'm me.
That's true.
So I couldn't tell you. You as an ally, tell me.
So the reason I'm asking, right, is because Titans.
Because you want to moan about Omni Oculus.
Yeah. So Titans, they can still get overshields. The overshield duration and damage hasn't changed. Their barrier shields haven't changed duration or resistance, right? and you have an exotic which can give overshields to everybody, right?
Well,
Nobody
it's not,
talks about any of that stuff.
That's
I've just
no.
realized.
Plenty of people have talked about all of that stuff. That none of that is new. None of that's a secret. None of that's
But none
a
of it has
deep
been
dive that
changed.
you've uncovered.
People
That's
are just like, oh well, it's just a thing. We just deal with it. It is what it is. It's Titans. Titans do Titan things, right?
and to be clear, you don't need an exotic. You can just put on Bastion, and your friends get over shields.
Oh, there you go.
That's just a part of being a Titan.
Are
Okay,
we
just
moving into a
part of
Respawn rant
being
here?
a Titan, right?
Absolutely. Per Bungie.
Part of being a Titan.
so
You
just-
don't even
just-
need an exotic to do that.
Just
And
give in.
yet-
Just give in to your Titan roots. You want to be a Titan. It's
And-
obvious that you're
and
jealous
yet
of the Titans
it
and our
is
superior
The
survivability.
hunter that keeps getting
And how
short
many
end of the stick.
times? How many times are we going to tell you why this keeps happening?
It doesn't matter why it keeps happening. Look, just because there's more hunters out there does not mean we should be unfairly scrutinized because of this.
Because if Respawn can moan about it, he's gonna moan about it and gonna continue to moan
Because
about it.
it's
No,
unfair.
Respawn can't moan.
There's no
Respawn
justice in this.
has to rant.
That's true. He does have to rant.
For us to be nerfed again and again and again, and all the things that the Titans can do that does the same thing as this, minus the invisibility. I'll give you that.
Same as this. What are you going on about? Please explain what
Yeah,
you're going on
you-
about,
you-
and
I'm
then
getting
go
there.
into a rant.
I'm getting there. So
Okay.
all the Titans can do all this fancy overshield stuff where they get all these
You
resistances,
pick on the
and
Titans
they give
so
their
much.
friends the
Look at
resistances.
the Warlocks as well.
right?
Look at the Warlocks.
Because Warlocks only heal. They don't give resistances as far as I'm aware, right? So, that being the case,
What being
Omni
the case?
Oculus is getting nerfed.
Mhm.
Because
In
of
PvP.
course. In PvP. Because of course. Right? How's it getting nerfed? Okay. They're reducing the effectiveness of the damage resistance used by Omni Oculus and Whisper of Change in PvP.
And
right?
what is Omni Oculus?
Omni Oculus is a exotic chess piece which gives a hunter a second smoke grenade. And what happens, it doesn't do that. You use the smoke grenade to turn all your friends invisible.
Been so long.
And while
since-
they're invisible, you get more grenade energy back. So you could potentially spam smoke grenades. But while they're invisible, they also get damage reduction. Which
Sounds
is good.
good. Yeah, it's good.
Because going invisible doesn't do because people can still see you. So it's good that we can get
No,
damage
going
reduction.
invisible does do because people can't see you. As I've been gunned down many a time, running into a room or around a corner, or just being near an invisible hunter who then shotgunned me to death. I could not see the hunter because invisibility.
Well,
And not
you
on my
can't
It is
see
a
radar.
them,
thing.
they're
It
behind
does
you,
work. It
Peroty.
is functional.
Yeah.
That's because they're behind you, bud.
No,
If
they're
they
not
were
behind
in
me.
front of you, you'd see them.
No, they were in front of me, and I could not see them, for they were invisible. Yes, there's a
Oh.
little tiny outline, but I'm not
Yeah.
looking for the tiny outline while
And
I'm running around playing PvP.
Invisibility used to remove us from radar entirely, but now once every 5-6 seconds, even if we're invisible, we still get dinged on the radar. So invisibility does even less than what it used to. So invisibility is good on paper only. In practice, it sucks.
It's still very good in real life.
Yeah.
I've played against enough invisible hunters. It's still good in real life. Yes, maybe a
can-
little less
I
good,
can hear the
but it's
guardian
still
now
plenty
being,
good.
if it's so bad, why did you crush on it? Okay, so first of all,
Well, no, I'm just saying it's you can't say it's not useful. You can't say not being physically visible
It-
in the
it is
game is not
good
useful.
for
It is still
movement.
very
It is-
useful.
it is good for movement and radar invisibility when you're like moving across the map. As far as people not seeing you, like while you're in front of them, I get killed all the time while being in. It doesn't do a damn thing.
You're not huntering properly.
Yeah, it sounds like you're hunting wrong.
Well, I don't probably right, but invisibility to me is
It could be because you've
I've
got
always
the
been
wrong
like, how the
exotic
hell
on.
can they kill me? I'm supposed to be invisible.
What
and then I'll
exotic
watch-
do you rock? You always
Uh,
tell me that you rock a different exotic. You don't even wear Omni Oculus.
Well, I don't rock Omni Oculus in PvP. If I'm going invis, I'm keeping myself
why
invisible,
aren't
not
you?
my
Just-
friend.
Sir,
Because
every
Omni
single
Oculus is for buddies, right?
every
The whole point of the
single
Omni Oculus
hunter-
is to turn a group.
every hunter
invisible.
in the entire world, it is required you wear that in PvP. If you haven't been taking advantage of it, then you can't complain about it being nerfed.
Yeah.
Every single hunter has been using it since day one.
Yeah.
That's why people are complaining about it, because everyone's using it, because you're not taking advantage of it.
Since day one. Stompies got nerfed, so they swapped over to the Omni Oculus. Now, if I still used Void, then I would probably use Omni Oculus. But I like Solar because I like the bouncing throwing knife that kills people 10 minutes after I throw it. Right?
I don't know. Sure. And in answer to your question, back in, when did this patch note come out? So May 24th in Destiny 2 update 4.1.0, they did make a change to the offensive bulwark of the Sentinel Titan. They increased the amount of time added to your Void Overshield's duration when you defeat a target with a melee attack. They gave it 2 additional seconds. So when you punch something, your Overshield got an additional 2 seconds.
Right. So they buffed it, right? So that was the only change done to you guys. But here, Omni Oculus, right? It's meant to turn you and your buddies invisible. That's the whole point of it, is to turn your team invisible.
Does it still do that?
Yeah.
Well, there
but
you go.
the whole point of being invisible was to also get this damage reduction buff, right? And the more people you hit, the more stacks you get, the more damage reduction everybody gets to enjoy, right? But now, tier 1, so basically you hit yourself. No, you don't even get a tier if you hit yourself. If you hit one person, you get, instead of 10% damage reduction, you get 2.5% damage reduction. That's not even a bullet worth of damage. Completely useless. Tier 2, you get 5% damage reduction. That means you have to hit at least 2 other people with your smoke.
Right.
Tier 3, 7.5% damage reduction. And tier 4, assuming you hit your whole team, everybody still only gets 10%, which used to be the tier 1. That's beyond a nerf. That is Stompy's level coming from Bungie. Right? That's not that is beyond a nerf. That is an unfair change to this exotic. That is, you have now made this exotic completely useless.
Well, no, it's not completely useless. There's still usefulness.
So the extra.
No. So they have to hit their entire team just to get level 1's worth of damage reduction.
But it's just the damage resistance. That's it.
Why else
You're still going to be going invisible. I thought that was the whole idea. You go invisible, and that is not being changed.
Well, invisibility again has been changed because now you appear on radar more often. Either in the last patch or the next one coming up.
But it's still a useful. Invisibility is still useful. You can't say like invisibility is not. It's still a useful thing. You can't totally write off invisibility.
Less and less viable, dude. Because now, okay, so this used to have damage reduction attached to it. Well, that's pretty much gone away now. So now, okay, what about radar? Radar, we used to be completely invisible unless we double jumped. Then we would ding on the radar. Now, that's not enough. Now, every 6 seconds, even if we're sitting perfectly still, we ding on the radar. And as of either this past season or the next season, that's getting reduced even further to like every 4 seconds or every 5 seconds. I can't remember. But
so every couple seconds, I can tell what direction you are on the screen. How does that help me?
Because the whole point of being invisible is you don't know where we're there. You don't know we're there. And if we're being stealthy, crouching, walking, you especially don't know that we're there. But now you know that we're there. You might not know our exact location, but now you're aware of our presence. So again, invisibility.
So in 4 seconds, if you can't kill me invisibility in 4 seconds, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
if you've got 4 seconds, even if it's 4 seconds of free invisibility you get, and I cannot see you, and I know maybe in which direction
it's still not
you are.
free. If we double jump again, which in most places in PvP you have to double jump to get to the second level, you're going to see me anyway because it still hasn't affected the double jumping appearing on radar.
If you're standing on the ground with a shotgun or standing on the ground with a hand cannon and you're 2-tapping me, 3-tapping me, whatever with a hand cannon on the ground, not jumping, and you've got 4 seconds before I can even engage you because I don't know where, that is still useful. Yes, it is not as useful. I will absolutely grant you that.
The second we do anything, invisibility drops.
Right. But still, you are dealing damage to me. I cannot see you. I don't know where the damage is coming from immediately unless you're standing right in front of my face and I can see you. If you're to the side, if you're behind me, I still have to locate you to engage you.
As soon as I fire that first shot, I am on your radar.
Right. Yeah, okay. I can start.
That doesn't do anything at that point at all.
Well, right. No, I understand, but it still gives you the advantage of being able to start that engagement before I can even begin to find you to engage you back. Before I can even attempt to do anything to you, you already have a chance to either have killed me or to start dealing damage to me before I can even find you to then engage you back. And if you're at range, I may not be able to engage you back before you kill me. It's still a major advantage. Yes, not as much as a major advantage, but it's still a major advantage.
Right. And no, I get that there's an advantage, but that advantage is becoming less and less and less and less and less and less advantageous. Right? Whether it's our invisibility itself losing its ability to stay off radar, or losing its ability to give us damage reduction, or losing its ability to, fill in the blank. I can see the writing on the wall. They've already nerfed invisibility itself multiple times. Now they're nerfing exotics that have to do directly with invisibility. The writing on the wall is eventually invisibility is just going to be a thought that people used to have, Whereas
it's going to be a part of
everybody
this
else's
game you
stuff
can build
is
into or not.
It's still unchanged. You still have all of your resistances you had before, and then some. Whereas a hunter trying to give his team resistance, like a Titan would be giving his team resistances with Bulwark.
Well,
it's a problem because we're doing it now.
Well, you get because you shouldn't be, because you're a hunter. You've spec'd into a class that is not meant to do that. You are not a support class. You are not a tank class. You are not a I'm going to stand here and hold the 6 fronts class. That's not who you're playing.
Okay,
you can't expect that class
using this exotic. What would we be?
You're not a support class. You are an archer. Your archer is not going to stand on the front line and hold the line against the invading barbarian forces. You can't expect your hunter class to do what a Titan class can do. You can get a taste of it, just like I as a Titan can get a taste of the invisibility, a taste of what a hunter can do, but they are not the same. You cannot expect them to work the same. Yeah, you can have a taste of it, but you're not getting the whole thing. If you want to be that, be a Titan or be a Warlock or spec into. Bungie has told you over and over again, spec into the fantasy we want you to have. We want this class to be this fantasy, spec into it or don't.
But even the way that it was, though, it only gives us that taste that you were talking about, right? Because we only get the damage reduction while invisible. So as soon as anybody I've hit with this smoke grenade, first of all, invisibility only lasts 13 seconds if you spec'd into it, right? And I don't think the invisibility you give to other people lasts that long. I think that's only you. I'll have to double check, right? But regardless, even if you spec'd into it, you only get 13 seconds. And that's if you don't do anything. As soon as they double jump, they show up on radar. As soon as they fire a weapon, invisibility drops, right? So all that damage
I think there are
they've had.
Yeah. I think aspects and fragments do play into that to make it last longer.
They had goes away the first time they fire a single shot.
Well, what was the last time how long are you sitting still in PvP? Are you sitting? Are you hiding in a corner for 13 seconds? Like I understand what you're saying.
What I'm saying is the invisibility, right, only lasts for so long and drops immediately as soon as you do something. So me having that 25% resistance for that first shot that you tag my ass with, it's still just a taste of what Titans get, right? They should have left it as it was, because it's not like it's a Titan overshield where you get that overshield until that overshield is depleted. No, I get that resistance until I do a thing, and then it drops immediately, right? So, like you said, even at pre-nerf, it's just a, quote, taste of what Titans can do. But now it's not even a taste. It's not even a taste at this point. I'm a kid sitting outside in the cold, starving to death, looking through the window of a restaurant at what a Titan can do. You know what I'm saying?
Then play
it's a Titan. It's not even a taste anymore.
Then play a Titan.
Cannot. Yeah. No. Play as a Titan.
Well, you can either be the Titan and be the Titan, or be the Hunter and be the Hunter. In PvP, yeah, it's changed to PvP, but again, the way you play PvP, I mean, yes, it is absolutely a nerf. I'm not disagreeing with you in any way, shape, or form that this is a nerf in PvP. Is it as, and yeah, that's how invisibility works. That's how it's always worked. You're still getting first mover advantage in PvP. And if you're playing in 6s, whatever, it's 6s, it's all chaos anyway. But if you're playing in 3s in PvP, that is a massive advantage to be able to pick your engagements and engage first without the other player even seeing you. Yes, you can know where they are. I can know you're in the direction to the front right of me somewhere. But you can land damage. You can kill me with a sniper rifle before I can even see you on the screen. that is still a massive advantage to not be visible to the other players.
You don't have to be invisible to do that. That's a range thing. Dude.
No, I understand. But I'm saying you can sit out in the open with a sniper rifle and tag me and kill me before I even see you to fire back. That is, invisibility is still a major benefit in PvP. Now, it's less of a major benefit, but it's still a major benefit to not being able to be seen visibly on the screen by another player running around.
Right. And I mean, and like I was saying before, the Guardian Downcast is going to yell at me because I crushed the hell out of invisibility against them. And again, not because it was harder for them to see me. I used it as a way to put myself in a position that way I would have advantage on first shot when I saw them. Right?
You can still do that. You just haven't got the full damage.
I'm just pointing that out before they call me out on it. I know you can still do that. I'm just saying, you know.
I was looking at, like, I was trying to look up how long the invisibility lasts and if there was any changes to that. And I came across this post from Guardian6969 on the Bungie forum saying the amount of invisible hunters in PvP is ridiculous. It's getting dumb now. And a lot of people jumping on saying, you know, we agree. There's a lot of them out there and they're all kind of making each other invisible. And it's just getting really oppressive to run against like 4 or 5 complete stacks of invisible hunters.
Sounds amazing. I don't see what the problem.
Yeah, but you know, but then Z Lamb has then gone on to say, fun fact about invisibility. Back when we played at 1080p or less on last generation consoles, invisibility was much more chunky in effect and very easy to see. But with the Xbox One X, I noticed the effects got harder to see. And now on the Series X, my fancy new TV can hardly be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet you, if you play on PC and you drop your resolution down to 720p, the invisibility would be less of an issue. When they're gone on radar and visually, I think it's invisibility is a lot worse, which makes sense, doesn't it? You know, more pixels, you can see them a bit more.
Well, yeah, but Hunter invisibility works like the Predator. You can still see the shimmer. You know,
I tell you what, you cannot. I cannot on my Series X, and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I
was going to say, not so
the
much
higher end kind of screens in 60 FPS, whatever, just high definition TVs.
So you're telling me all the times I get killed while I'm invisible is some guy in his basement still playing on a 360?
Yep.
or you're still taking damage because you're not invincible. Just because I don't see you doesn't mean I'm not shooting you. If I'm unloading with an auto rifle and you get splash damage, or you get hit by a grenade, or you take damage.
No, I get that. If I'm in a group and I get killed, it's like whatever. But if I get killed in a 1v1 scenario where I'm like, how the hell did he see me? That's when I complain. That's the instances I'm talking about. Not splash damages or grenades or auto rifle or rocket launchers. I get all that.
Somebody else on PC running at 720p so they can see the shimmer.
Yeah. Pro tip: if you're playing against hunters 1v1ing, drop your resolution, and there you go. That's
Gator, Hazel, don't do that.
Oh, that's funny. Play on Stadia, so it's so chunky. No one can figure out where you are anyway.
Skullfort. I'm already pre-writing a whole thing about that before it even comes. I've already got half a page about Skullfort.
We'll see if Skullfort even becomes a thing. Skullfort was a meme at best.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
no.
It's not here. We're not getting into it. So what we are getting into is addressing things in the future. Season 18 mid-season patch or season 19.
Okay, so these are not coming. So everything we've talked about up till now, mark your podcast timers, up till now is likely or should be definitely coming in this new season that starts the 23rd of August. In 10 days as we record this, 7-ish as you hear it. These things are not coming on the 23rd. They are not coming when this season drops. Don't turn on your Xbox on the 24th of August and expect to see these things. These are future things. Bungie does a terrible time of specifying this. And yes, at least they did mention it's coming later at some point, but we're now telling you in big, bold, screaming letters, these are not coming right now. Don't look for them.
And if you don't get it after you said it like 9 times, just then you can't be helped.
You cannot make statements like that. You started this TWAB going, so I haven't seen these in game now. And we're like, no, we've already told you these aren't in game now. So even you make those mistakes.
Yeah,
is this for the people, or is this for Respawn, or is it all the same?
Special needs, okay?
We know,
and we all know I can't be helped. So I'm just saying, to anybody else, you can't be helped.
Yeah. So what could possibly be coming mid-season 18 or past
So
season 9.
reducing shotgun spread randomness. So maybe every shotgun gets shot package.
Less RNG bullets.
Probably. Reducing bow swapping effectiveness.
No, we don't.
I don't
want that.
get what that is.
Don't want that.
Okay.
No.
Increasing trace rifle ease of use.
They're
Cool.
pretty easy to use. Point and click.
Yeah. I don't see a problem. But if they're gonna make it easier, all the better. Introducing
point,
the
no
full
click.
auto setting. Thank you.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Please, Bungie, please stop saying this because this confuses Respawn that this is coming every season. And if it's confusing Respawn, it's confusing a lot of people.
Yeah.
Every season.
I wouldn't say that.
I bet you in about 3 weeks' time you go, I cannot find that
I'm
full
on the end of
auto
the
setting.
spectrum there, bud.
3 weeks' time, you will be saying to me and Peroty, I haven't seen that full auto setting they said was coming. And we'll be going, no, they haven't said it's coming now. They said it's coming later.
Not coming until 18 or 19, dude. Pay attention.
No, not
Yeah.
a season 18.
I don't know.
We are going into season 18, and it's not coming in the beginning of season 18.
Well, it's going to be coming mid-season 18 or
Maybe.
19, dude. Are you paying attention? Come on,
Maybe.
Parody.
Maybe.
Said this.
Maybe.
God.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's no guarantee it's happening in either of these. It could be this or not at all.
Right, because they're addressing it, right? So
Please
calm
stop
down.
mentioning it, Bungie, until you've actually put it in the game. From now on, just don't mention full auto settings.
Reducing the ability of snipers to shoot through flinch in PvP. Thank God. Oh,
If it
that's
ever
so
happens.
aggravating. And that happened. Look, I don't play PvP often, but so many times I'm tagging him with an auto rifle, submachine gun,
Scout rifle,
pulse rifle, and he still shoots me. That's ridiculous.
Can we also add hand cannon to that?
Yeah.
The snipers, honestly, you can have your flinch on snipers. Give me some flinch on hand cannons when I'm unloading under your face with an auto rifle and you're still two-tapping me with a hand cannon and killing.
Yes, agreed.
You shouldn't be
just
able to
remove
see
hand
me, let
cannons
alone landing
entirely,
accurate
but
shots.
They're a stupid weapon archetype. They outrange scout rifles and they outdamage freaking everything else. Get rid of them. So stupid. Pulse
And they're hard
rifles
to use.
out of band effective. Wait, hold on. What happened? Oh, examining some small targeted balance changes to certain PvP outliers. Okay. So pulse rifles with out of band effectiveness, whatever
They're
that
too
means.
good. It means they're too good
Oh,
or too bad.
oh yeah, I was reading that as too bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Either
high
one.
impact scout rifles ease of use, whatever that means. Precision
They're hard to
fusion
use.
rifle ease of use.
They're hard to use. It's hard to be precise with a fusion rifle. Unless it's Telesto.
Telesto cease and destroys. Allowing glaive interactions with some exotic armors that buff melees. Thank you. Fixing
Give me
glaive
Send this
protection.
up glaive. Let's go.
Thank you. Something that I've been experiencing, right, is I use glaive a lot. Like a lot, right? And sometimes the glaive just won't swing. Like I'll be in the middle of a group going whack, 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 and then it just stops. I'm like, hello, whack, whack, whack. Why would it just freeze like that?
Very similar to walking along the ground with a big giant shield up and tripping over a tiny stone and dropping your shield. Same idea.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know what that's about. Sure.
Sometimes your guardian just forgets what they were doing.
But they
for a
said they're going to
moment.
fix that glaive hit detection.
Well, this isn't hit detection. This is swinging the damn thing.
Probably the same thing.
Yeah. Hopefully the same thing.
And who knows if this is a nerf or a buff? Because sometimes, what if it's like, oh, well, you hit things too easily now, right? We're going to reduce that. Because sometimes I'll turn 90 degrees to hit a red bar. Are they going to be reducing that? Is it going to be? Do you actually have to physically be looking at them to do that? I don't want that.
Now, this next word, this reworking word, does this mean debuff or nerf some exotic, some enhanced perks?
Reworking thus far has meant nerfing.
In this TWAB, it means nerfing.
Or just changing because it's useless.
Yeah.
So reworking some enhanced perks and folding spec mods into the base perks.
So getting rid of less spec mods and just building them into the game, building them into the perk, which I'm a big fan of reducing the number of mods just available in the menus. So I like that one day, eventually, when it may or may not happen.
Player support team. Oh, this is Peroty.
RIP update 420. Our player support team is here and ready to go and sharing some information about a few things they have on the radar. And can we just say a super big thank you to this player support team? Because honestly, they are some pretty cool guys. And as always, known issues lists are linked. Go there if you have known issues or want to know about the things, because they're really not going to tell you about very many of them. The big thing that I've seen all over the place is the Destiny 2 patch number updates. So starting on the 23rd, they're changing the patch numbers for all patches going forward, with 6.2.0 being released for Season 18. Basically, each major release had its own patch. Destiny was 1.0, Taken King was 2.0, etc. The Witch Queen was known as 6.0. They're going to help alleviate confusion regarding the public-facing patch numbers and bring the numbers into parity. So we're making this change for all patch numbers going forward, which I've seen a surprisingly number of people talk about, them just updating the numbers of the patches. So yeah. Text chat update. It was broken. Now it's fixed. Apparently text chat was causing issues, and now it's not causing issues anymore. And you should claim all your in-game rewards because it's toward the end of the season. And if you have things sitting at your ritual vendors, Zavala, Shax, Drifter, and Saint 14, they will be removed at the beginning of the next season.
Uh-oh.
So pick up all the things from Zavala, collect all of your packages from Shax, either turn your Drifter weapons into engrams into weapons or don't, and make sure you see Saint 14 so he's not just sitting here holding on to valuable trials weapons or armor that you're not converting into things you want.
Shards.
Do that
Shards
before the end of the season.
That's what you need, your shards. Just dismantle the engrams into shards, Skater.
Exactly. If you don't have like 40 packages sitting at Shax because you've done nothing but mainline PvP and Iron Banner, that's what this part of the season is for.
Oh, yes.
You don't care what any of those things are. At this point in the season, you don't care what any of those packages are. Collect them, delete them. They're not important to you. Just let it go. There's known issues. There's a whole list of them. There's an entire article linked. And that's all we're going to tell you about. There's no known issues that we feel the need to actually tell you about in the TWAB. Just basically point you to the list of things that are out there in the world that are issues that are known. There's a link in our show notes. There's a link in the TWAB. If you're having an issue, known or unknown, go to the help forum. And maybe you'll get some help, or maybe they'll say, yep, we know about that. We're working on a fix in the future. And now it's time to shoot to loot.
Is it?
With our movies of the week. A lovely Grasp of Avarice piano cover, piano, violin, etc. cover. And why someone uses shoot to loot? Presumably to shoot loot from far away. There's also some lovely artwork of Telesto and Banshee's ongoing love affair. And this week's TWAB means we only have one more TWAB before the season ends, and they jump into the showcase on the 23rd. Bungie would like to remind you that they are starting the vote for the exotic ornament on the 16th of August, so please go check out last week's TWAB if you missed the details on that, which I will be doing because I listened to it but have not seen the details on last week's TWAB.
Let's face it, there's no point because they'll send you the email and they go, pick one of these weapons, and you go, oh, okay, I'll just pick one of these weapons.
So click on the sweet business. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
And if you're wondering when you're going to get some Arc 3.0 info, it's coming soon-ish to a Bungie page near you. So
about a week, I'm guessing.
We know you want to know all the things, but Guardians.
It's going to be like Solar. When Solar dropped, we didn't know anything about any of the changes.
Mm-hmm. Soon.
No.
23rd, then soon.
And that's Sam and Mercury signing off for our 12 for this week.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
We have told you poorly how to dress. We have told you where to get your last exotics of the season. And now we're going to tell you what sort of report there is out there. Some sort of roundup that some guy with a name starts with R does. Ronald, Reggie, Ringling Brothers.
Oh,
that's it. Ringling Brothers report roundup. Here we go.
Isn't that a W? WRING? Doesn't matter.
You're thinking of Wrigley's, and inside the Winterfresh mouth is much cooler.
Wrigley. Thank you.
But this is summer and it's hot now.
That's correct. You know what else is hot? When Destiny Bulletin says things. Not really. But in this case, it says new. In response to Bungie's lawsuit filed last year, Destiny 2 cheat seller Aim Junkies and Phoenix Digital, Aim Junkies / Phoenix Digital says cheating is not illegal, and the game companies want to make it illegal because they cannot govern their own players, revealed in a press release. He's not wrong. Cheating isn't illegal, but you did sign a document when you wanted to play the game saying that you would adhere to its rules and guidelines, and that is the contract that they broke.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny Bulletin says Aim Junkie is also requesting Destiny 2's monthly player count and sales from Valve/Steam, which could help to disprove Bungie's argument that cheaters hurt the company. Ooh.
How do they think this is going to go? Honestly,
honestly, I think it's going to be thrown out. Honestly,
do they think they're going to win? I gotta respect them for being like, yeah, we're gonna do whatever, but sure,
well, they've
go for
got
it.
to, dude. Bungie's going to take them like what was it, like multi-millions of dollars, dude. They're going to go bankrupt if Bungie wins. They got to try everything they can. So Bungie says this is impotent against cheaters, even with the vast resources and technologies at their disposal. Oh no, they're saying Bungie is impotent. There we go, against cheaters, even with their vast resources and technologies at their disposal. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, that's all of cybersecurity. It's all a cat and mouse game.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. That's technology.
Oh, that's just more of that. Okay. In true galley fashion, okay, so this is from Liana Rupert, aka Dirty F and Hippie. She works at Bungie. That's all I know because I think her name is awesome. In true galley fashion, we must commemorate our fellow CM getting his first Gallahorn by standing too close to him or jumping in front of him. Looking at you, hunters. So he accidentally blows himself up. Well, I am part of a clan called Frozen, and it is written on the wall when you join the clan that explosives are prohibited. Not because we don't allow you to have them, but because they become 150% more fatal to you. And
at least.
Yeah. So we do that for your protection. So the fact that other people don't know that, explosives are more fatal to you, I'm glad finally get a taste of what it's like to be in the Frozen clan. So there you go.
I thought that was a very fitting update.
I like it. It's very nice. Paul Tassi says, at Paul Tassi, one interesting thing brought up is that Dare's weapons have enhanced perks in the API. Even if it's not announced, I do wonder if they may make those craftable to give F2P players more actual crafting options. Nightmares, thinking about getting 5 red other halves to drop. Fair enough.
Yeah, because
I still haven't even got the one.
Yeah, because that I hadn't seen anywhere talking about, that they're enhanced perks there. So maybe that's part of the the rework and redoing the perks is they're giving them enhanced perks too.
Right. So for those of you that don't know what this is, new guys, in Dares of Eternity, you can get one of 2 Halo laser sword, right? Well, it's actually half of the laser sword, right? They cut it in half and you get one half of the other half. The other half apparently has like a 0.03% drop rate. And the only difference, it has the same perk pool. The only difference is its blade is purple, I think, instead of green. Something like that. So, yeah, that's what they're talking about. It's got an abysmal drop rate. Anna Funk says, these changes look great. But even after reading the TWAB every week for almost 2 years, I feel you. I'm always confused about when changes outlined in the TWAB are going to go live. Is there anything that can be done to make that more clear? Cosmo, what up? Sorry about that. We will try to be more clear going forward. All of the weapon changes listed go live in 8/23 with the start of season 18. Peroty? Demon?
Yep.
Right here, all of the weapon changes listed go live on 8/23 with the start of season 18.
Except for the ones that they said definitely will not be.
Okay. Because
this I threw in specifically because
saying.
we had talked about it. I saw it last night and I was like, this is exactly the problem. They're like, hey, here's things, here's happening, it's coming. Because Bungie likes to tell us what like the next major release is, the next major Nightfall, or not Nightfall, when Nightfall is coming, and they're like, here's 70 different things. And oh, by the way, they come at some point. You can figure out when.
Yeah. And Fallout, I don't want to say I used to be a fan because your content is still, but you did me off, right? And the reason I'm mad.
Wait, are you defaming Fallout, our Lord and Savior?
No, I'm not defaming him. I'm not a fan. I'm saying I'm upset.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm here for the slander.
Well, I mean, it's not slander. I'm not slandering his name. I'm saying I'm upset with him. Right? The reason I'm upset with him is because of the contribution he dedicated to the Omni Oculus nerf. All right? He says, and I quote, if Bungie announces a Season 18 Omni nerf in this week's 12, I'll do a 10-hour Gambit stream. Now,
That is an act of self-harm.
Yeah, I'm getting there. He is kind of making up for me off by doing a 10-hour Gambit. Right? I like Gambit. I don't like 10 hours of Gambit. Right? So,
Neither does
I'll
he.
give that. He is punishing himself for this. Right? But the fact that he went so hard to try to get this nerf to happen, and it did, I think he contributed to the problem.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's what that is. I think this is him hoping it doesn't happen, because
Is that
again?
What you
Oh yeah, because does anybody want to do a 10-hour Gambit stream? Did you watch his videos of 50 Gambit matches? I think that broke him.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Up to additionally the shotgun changes. I've already seen him on Twitter being like, no, we're not talking about barrel lengths and shotgun spreads. No, we're not doing it.
Like a deal. Like he goes, hey, if you do this, this is what I'll do in return. Right? I'm reading this like he's trying to negotiate with him. Right? Hey, if you nerf it, I'll do a 10-hour Gambit stream. That's how I'm reading it. Right?
No, I think he was betting that it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because I mean, again, he does not want to do a 10-hour Gambit stream. Nobody wants this. No one says, oh, please let me do a 10-hour Gambit stream. This is absolutely him being like, nope.
Fallout, if you did not want the nerf, then I personally apologize. If you wanted the nerf,
that's very rare.
Good. All right.
Real-ish time update in response to that tweet. I just dropped in another one from Bife that just says, "Oh no."
Cosmo 23 and that Fallout plays. Oh no.
It is worth it. Just reading the replies to this thread. Beautiful. Chef's kiss. Perfect.
On that note, I don't think we have anything else for the roundup. Do we have any feedback?
No, but I have some videos.
Yeah, we got some videos. My team has watched YouTube, so you don't have to.
Yay!
And I know it's the end of the season, and there isn't that many things to kind of go over, but I did find two really cool synergistic videos this week. One from Fallout going over what can break a glaive block, and that was really interesting with some of the things that it can't block and some of the things it can block. And he goes weapons and supers, and basically he's saying that they're amazing in PvP. And if you pair that with the True Vanguard video, which is this build is a big problem in Destiny 2 PvP, where he's got a Shadebinder with the Osmiomancy gloves, and he's freezing people, getting the one shot. And I didn't realise you had to get a shot on somebody to proc the shield that goes on the glaive in PvP. I've just been using it wrong all this time. But you get one shot, doesn't have to kill them to bring up your shield. And your shield, in the Fallout video, as he shows you, can block a hell of a lot of stuff. And this build that True Vanguard has put together on the Warlock looks amazing. And it's definitely one I'm going to be trying.
There was a build we had last month where the dude was running around literal one-shotting people. Is this that build?
Well, this is with the Osmiomancy gloves, where you can get, it's either two of the turrets or two of the grenades that go out and track people. And then if you get a kill, either with melee or a grenade, it will then track onto, depending on, I mean, in his video, he does go over his build, so you can copy it like word for word and get the same effect. But it looks fantastic. So go and check out Fallout's video to see what it can break, or what can break a glaive block, and then check out True Vanguard's video on the build that you want to kind of put for your Warlock.
Okay, fair enough. And that, what's the gloves that heal you? The Warlock ones we were talking about earlier.
That was the Karnstein armlets, was it? Yes.
Right.
Karnstein.
Can you still one-shot with those? That way you can just continue to heal too while you're one-shotting people?
Yeah, I guess so, because the the Osmiomancy gloves just give you the double grenades, I believe. The enhanced double grenades for the freezing. Because the True Vanguard says that, what's the best thing about, going up against people that are shooting you with, and you're trying to get your one shot off with your glaive, is if they can't shoot you. So if they're frozen, they can't shoot you. You can get your glaive to get its one shot to bring up its shield when you need it. But you can also kill that guardian and carry on to the next one and bring up a shield.
What?
Really
I
cool.
broke my audio. They didn't hear anything I said. Y'all are gonna have to listen to what I said about Fallout then on the podcast. There you go.
And Cool Guy this week has a weapon that you need to try out if you've got it in your vaults, and you probably have, Respawn. It's the Vault of Glass Scout Rifle.
Oh, absolutely.
Vision of
What about it?
Confidence. It's a 180, and there's a specific roll on there that is doing fantastic in Crucible, and it's the one that can roll Frenzy. And I believe it's the only 180, or Cool Guy says it's the only one that is a 180 that can have Frenzy on it, and it works really well with this weapon. So as Scout Rifle's got a good buff, and they're going to be even better next season, go and check out his video. That'll be linked in the show notes.
Nope. I got Rewind and
No, I didn't have it either, so I'm going to have to go back in. And then a couple of fun ones this week. We have Froggy 618157725 doing an out of bounds the salt mines. So this is going back to an area that you could only get to during the Red War, which is still there in the EDZ. And Froggy shows you how to get out there. Really cool and really interesting. And then an extremely funny one from Castle Content this week. Now this is 46 types of Destiny players. And you've all got one. You've all got one friend that does this, and they maybe several of these types all rolled into one. I know that when I was watching the video, I thought that can be me, and that one can be me, and yeah, that one can definitely be me. It's only 11 minutes long, but it is
all of
really,
those players.
really funny. So go and check out those ones. So yeah, that's all I have for you for the end of the season. Just start hoarding your bounties if you can, and wait till next season to pop them. And good luck if you're doing Grandmasters and anything else at the end of the season.
Yeah, seems fitting.
Yeah,
sure does.
And yeah, don't forget you can guild your titles for your. Is it your? What's the title?
Dredgen.
You can
Dredgen's the word you're looking for. It's definitely Dredgen.
You can guild your Dredgen. You can guild your Conqueror for your Nightfalls, and is it Gunslinger, which is the seasonal weapon, ritual weapon that you have to get kills with in certain activities. So you can guild that one as well.
Yeah, this is the time to finish up the things you've been putting off doing, or
whatever they may be. We just nod our heads in agreement. Yep. Yeah. No, whatever you say. Yeah, sure.
And this is where I'm going to tell you, because it's that point of the season. DestinyRecipes.com. That is where you will find your seasonal checklist, which will give you a little guide if you're trying to know, what do I sort of need to feel prepared for next season? How many bounties should I hoard? How many materials should I have? It'll sort of say, here's what we sort of recommend you have. Here's where you are. Also, the loot companion is there. So if you are unlocking those 40 engrams you have sitting at shacks, saying, are any of these useful? And I want to compare them to what I already have. Loot companion will help you out. If you have filled out your entire vault and you are sitting here 600 of 600, like I know Nidedemon's at like 598 of 600, there's also a vault cleaner that'll let you look up your vault, get rid of the things you don't need to have there that you can pull out of collections. You don't need to keep them all.
You're not telling me that, and nobody's telling me that.
And then there's a power level progress there too, which will be useful for next season, which again, only a 10 little power jump, so no big massive jump. But the big thing is there the pre-seasonal checklist of your vault cleaner. If you are trying to make some room for the new set of weapons or your fancy new things you're going to have to regrind for because they're going to have better or different or reworked origin perks now, DestinyRecipes.com. I know you're going to ask 6 more times because I do the same thing. DestinyRecipes.com.
And while we're out there, just because with the new season comes new armor, and as soon as you start getting that armor, be sure to use D2 Armor Picker. Again, D2 Armor Picker to help you get the best roll you can get with what's currently in your inventory.
And is that sitting at D2ArmorPicker.com?
Yes.
That is one thing I do not remember. Okay, yep. D2 ArmorPicker.com. We'll get you there. And that's so you can figure out, can I run triple 100s? It'll look at your vault. You can spec into, hey, here's the fancy new solar, the fancy new void, stasis, and after the 23rd, here's what you can do with arc to get those triple 100s so you can get out there and lay waste to all of your foes. And here's a point where we lose Nitedemon to a birthday party, and I'm going to tell you that thank you for joining us. I'm back, you're back, we're all back, we're together again. The tremendous trio of your Titans, Peroty and Nitedemon, and Respawn, soon to return to his Hunter Master Race roots at the beginning of the new season.
I'm so excited.
Your lore scribe is not here. You can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. We're on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Really, I mean, Two Titans and a Hunter, you know where to find this point. If you haven't, I can't help you. You can find all of us setting nightmares ablaze, waiting for R3.0 to come out, and trying to unredact what the new season is going to be redacted. Are we still going to be hauling keys around? It's hard to say. Listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, everywhere fine podcasts. Watch the show on YouTube. Nitedemon does a wonderful job giving you something visual and lovely to watch with the edited version of the show. If you want the live, raw, uncut version, twitch.tv/no-one-responds-in-real-life will give you the top secret live version of the show that is not family friendly, not, won't say not cohesive, but sometimes the audio drops out. Sometimes it doesn't because we are not streamers or YouTubers. We do our best, and sometimes not even really quite that.
Yeah.
You can also check out twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter. That is TWO Titans and a Hunter, all spelled out, no numbers, for secret streams of Nitedemon getting his children through dungeons, or who knows what you might find. Those also end up on the YouTube channel, so if you want to check out YouTube, everything lives there. And we decided it's been long enough. We've been doing the show since, 2019? We should actually allow you to go to twotitansandahunter.com. twotitansandahunter.com. We'll give you to, right now, the podcast page. We're working on some more fancy things, but we decided it's been long enough, and we should actually do something with the domain name that Nitedemon bought 3 years ago.
Pretty. It links directly to our body.
So twotitansandahunter.com will now get you places, and we're working on more fun, fancy things for you to enjoy. So stay tuned.
Got the Patreon. Sounds like Peroty's finishing that up. He just needs to figure out what goes where. And Nitedemon and a viewer/listener is actually helping us get merch online. So, for those of you that are already asking in the chat, as of a few minutes ago, when can you get loot? It's coming. Right? Coming.
And also, Respawn Army, what do you want? I feel Respawn needs to have its own individual tier. What would you pay each month to make Respawn do? Now, it can't be, it can't really be a one-off thing. We can, with the Patreon, and things, we can't say do the, pay Respawn $100 to do that. We'll figure out another way to do that nonsense. But if you want to be a member, a card-carrying member of the Respawn Army, card optional, what would you like as a reward for being that member? Would it be a limited EP of Respawn songs? Would it be, there should be enough stream at this point, a greatest hits put together of Respawn as a Titan? I mean, what would really be the thing that you want as a Respawn Army card holder?
You know what? That's not a bad idea, though. Actually, now that you said that, I should make cards for the Respawn Army.
Should.
Yeah,
I feel like, I mean, if we could have a tier, and you could be a card carrying holder of the Respawn Army.
If you want me to not yell at Titans, that absolutely has to have a time limit. And I don't mind stripping raids. That's something we discussed. Is having Respawn do a raid or a dungeon with you, totally fine. But if you're gonna tell me that I can't yell at a Titan, monetarily speaking, that's got to have a time limit on it. That's not $5 for what? I don't know. An hour or something. Who knows?
Stay tuned for your opportunity for your Respawn ride along. And until next week, gents, tell the good people goodbye. So Nitedemon can go to a birthday party. I can go wander off into the mists, looming down over everyone, and Respawn can attempt to fight off the gators and the meth.
Well, 1 out of 2 ain't bad. Deuces, everybody!
Bye!
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
Now the secret after show that doesn't really exist.
You were born and raised where?
In West
From
Philadelphia.
there right now. Oh, Tampa?
No.
Tampa. In Tampa. Nobody likes Tampa.
Carver, I feel that comment very deeply.
I was in Chicago, and a buddy of mine who lives there that I work with, he took me to
A bowgun shop.
no, it's like a fishing place. It's a real common fishing place. It's all over America. It's got like all kinds of hunting gear, fishing gear, things like that.
Target.
No, the store is a really popular hunting store. One of them is shaped like a big glass pyramid somewhere.
Nashville,
Right.
I think.
Bass Pro Shop. Thank you, T-Rex. Y'all left me hanging. You guys.
I don't live in America. I don't know. The only thing I know is Target, and I was thinking, is Target
No, it's a Bass Pro Shop, right?
That would,
And
no,
if
but
it's Bass Pro
seriously,
Shop,
that would make sense. Target is the shop that you go to get your guns.
Ironically,
Okay.
though, it's not though.
and
Well-
you can't buy guns. Whereas you can buy guns at Walmart, you can't buy them at Target. Oddly enough.
Nope. Because they'd be a target. They were like, no, this is too obvious. We can't. This is suicide. Why would we do? Why would we do this?
I feel a rebrand is needed there.
Nitedemon T-Rex says, "Then we'll stop being British, and then you would know."
Obviously.
So we're gonna have to clearly add a Patreon level for Demon to stop being British for an episode, and then he can just wax poetic about America and make
It's
things
Bass
up
Pro
on the
Shop.
fly. And it
Is
will
it just
be
basically
beautiful.
I put a voice on?
I think
No,
yeah.
I
I think
would
it's
add
basically.
mannerisms.
do that.
It's not just voice. You gotta add mannerisms.
Anyway, what is your best American accent? I think if we could get you to do an American accent for like a show, that would be
I want to
perfect.
be a cowboy. A good old fashioned American cowboy.
Howdy.
Yeah, not now. Save it for the Patreon. But
Gotta
okay,
give the
so
give the
anyway.
people a taste.
Well, people, from what I've heard, like Ask Across and Fallout, they're like, it's really good in Grandmasters where you don't want to expose yourself. So shoot the loot is good to grab loot without you actually having to expose yourself to enemy fire.
You should never expose yourself.
Never.
It's not a good idea. Bad things happen that way.
I've heard.
Yeah, you end up with 5 kids.
Yeah. it's not good. Ta-da!